Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting Best Ball Mania 6 teams. It's Get Your Guys season. It's peak Best Ball summer right now. We're in the end of August. We've had the 53-man cut downs yesterday, and today people were signing players back to the practice squads. Marvin Mims Jr. had a groin injury today. Is that concerning? All of these updates, rookie risers, and more tonight's show. I've jumped into a best ball mania, and I'm going to be drafting from the 3 spot. So we're going to rip a few best ball mania drafts tonight. I've got 15 left to go until I max. Let's hit the intro, get right into it. But make sure you smash that like button. If you're new, if you're watching this in the future, subscribe to the channel. I just hit 500 subs. Very excited. And I'm on a mission to hit 1,000 subs before the start of the very next NFL season. We hit our 500 goal before the start of this NFL season. We're feeling great. And come say what up in the chat. Let's get right into it. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. What's going on? What's up, fellas? How we doing tonight? How we doing? Here we are, drafting from the 3 spot. And you know who my 3rd overall ranked player? It's none other than CeeDee Lamb. So we'll take him here. Got a good amount of CeeDee Lamb. I just downloaded the CSV and updated my exposures. We can check them out here at the Best Ball Overlay. Check out bestballoverlay.com. Use code GARAGE, 25% off your premium subscription. But that's how I can see my combos here. I've got 13% Lamb in Best Ball Mania previous to that pick. So I've got them on 17 teams and make it 18. These are my unique combinations. So I've never taken Lamb with McCaffrey. That would have had to have been like the first week of Best Ball Mania to get lucky to pull something like that. But we're going to see what we can get into. I don't have any Lamb Bowers in Best Ball Mania. I've seen people talk about that combo. 1 Chase Brown, 1 Drake London, no AJ Brown, 3 McConkeys, 4 Buckies, 4 JTs, 4 Josh Jacobs, 4 T Higgins, 4 hamburgers, 4 fries, 4 shakes, 4 tater tots, some Trey McBride, throw in some Josh Allen. No Lamar Jackson. That might be a way to go. And Mike Evans, a little bit of T-Mac. So interesting. Quick review of the exposures. Let me see who's in this room. And do I have the right aspect ratio? That's better. A little bit more zoomed in. Here we go. No, I don't particularly. I recognize Ship My Money, but otherwise, Sander 26 seems familiar too, actually. How we doing tonight, fellas? Hope you're having a great Wednesday and hope you're getting your drafts in. It is officially Get Your Guys season. So go get your guys. Let's get those exposures. Let's go get those combinations you haven't gotten yet. The exposures, if you've been drafting all summer, they're the way they're going to be. But let's build sick teams regardless and ship some of these tournaments. We got Thad on real time. Hashtag 0RB is dead. Let's find out if that's true. I recognize that guy. We got Sharpman in the chat. Yo, what up? Hartman, how we doing, dog? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a solid start to the week. Yep. Nope. Don't have to leave now. You can stick around. Yes. Don't worry, Jeff. I will come back and I will comment on this video with the right selections so that in case you're watching it in the future, you'll already know what's going to happen. All right, the moment of truth. I've got all of these players with CeeDee Lamb quite a lot. So let's go ahead. Is it Bucky Irving? Is it Josh Jacobs? I think it's going to be another Bucky Irving team because why not? It's almost too easy just to take the last half of his 2024 season and then annualize that for 2025 and say that's what we're going to get. But if he can do that, I think we're on to something. The combination of these two picks, though, I do want to consider. So if I add CeeDee Lamb to this right here, let's go add CeeDee Lamb, almost on the clock. The combo that I have with them of what's available, I don't have any McBride. I have no Lamar Jackson. I kind of want to go Lamar Jackson here. I don't have them with Hampton. If I do Lamar, I can still get Dak, but I don't have to. I'm going to take Lamar. I've got a good amount of Trey McBride teams, and I feel like I have enough. I'm almost 10% Trey McBride. A bunch of those are with Jamar Chase. Maybe it would make sense to have a Trey McBride team with CeeDee Lamb. Let's go to my portfolio and my best ball manias. I don't know for a fact that I am without the combination of McBride with CeeDee Lamb. I'm not like 100% sure. Ooh, yeah, okay. No, this is good. I've got at least 3 best ball manias with CeeDee Lamb and Trey McBride. And I thought that was the case. I know I remember drafting at least one. So I'm not going to push it there. Let's go look at the game logs for Bucky Irving. Let's throw up the second half of his season. He's an explosive rusher. Okay, so pretty much, and man, we got to figure out a way to get dark mode on playerprofiler.com. Pretty much from week, let's say, where he started getting more than half the snaps, week 12 to week 17, we have finishes as the running back 3, running back 1. There's a little dud there in week 14. Obviously didn't play 50% of snaps there. He only played limited snaps. Week 14, 15, also limited snaps. Let's go back to 16. He's back above 50%, running back 16, then 5. I don't really look at week 18. In the playoff week, I don't know if you can really count that, but it's not a bad performance. A lot of good performances in there. And then the early weeks, 6 and 7 against the Saints and the Ravens, he still put up some numbers and wasn't really getting all the snaps there. So can we get an elite season from Bucky Irving? That's the bet with this team. It's CeeDee Lamb's the guy you need, Bucky Irving, an elite season, and then Lamar Jackson, QB1 in week 17. How can we build out the rest of this roster? Knowing those things, what would we do? This could be true. I think that's kind of part of the thesis we've been going with for the big position on CeeDee Lamb. Pickens has been rising. I see Pickens not going to the back of the 4th round as much lately. Yeah, that's pretty predictable. Thielen is one of my top exposed players, so I'm feeling good about him being on the Vikings. I don't really worry about that. I think if anything, it could be a slight upgrade. So, all right, about to be back on the clock. Will Travion be there? I don't have Breece Hall with Lamar Jackson. I don't have Calvin Ridley with CeeDee Lamb. I'm tempted to go Travion and just take the best player that I think is available. And then I'd like to get one of Calvin Ridley, Devonta Smith, maybe even Jalen Waddle. There goes Ridley. Ship my money he started off with Chase T. Higgins and Mike Evans. Is he going to go Burrow here? I would if I was him. He goes Metcalf, and then is he going to take Burrow? He takes Ken Walker. So he's trying to push Joe Burrow. Maybe that's smart because he's already got the double stack. Do I want to go Devonta Smith or Waddle? Well, the decision was made for me. I'm going to go Devonta Smith here. ADP would have me look at like DJ Moore, Brees Hall. Brees Hall in the 5th round. I need to go Devonta Smith though. I took Travion Henderson. I'm making the bet there. Brees Hall, someone gets a really nice value at pick 52. Brees has been falling. Is he's going to split the workload with Braylon Allen? Are the Jets going to be any good? I thought the Jets' offensive line was much improved. At least it was looking like they kept, with all the draft capital, the first rounders they've been spending year over year. New coaching, new quarterback, Justin Fields. Can he open up those rushing lanes? Can he freeze the linebackers a little bit? But Brees Hall's upside is in his pass catching ability. And if Justin Fields is not checking it down as much as Aaron Rodgers was, then that could limit his ceiling. Otherwise, it could be Braylon Allen cutting into his touchdowns. So I'm a little bit concerned. I drafted a ton of Brees Hall in the 3-4 turn earlier in the summer. So I'm going to get different here. I'm going to draft this team. And I like Devonta Smith. Obviously, the injury is a concern, but I think he's good. A lot of badges. Yeah, you might. This is a lot of badges. It's pretty badged up right now in this room. You might get lucky in pushing Burrow. Let's just see what happens. We'll keep tabs on it. There's always the Chase Brown drafter, although he has Josh Allen and badge, so that might indicate he's less willing to take a second quarterback early. Is kind of what I was thinking, Jeff. So yeah, Jeff made a pretty good assessment here. Maybe this is the right room to try to push. When you do have obviously T. Higgins with Jamar Chase, there's less people willing to take an unstacked Joe Burrow. And I'm not that guy who's going to enforce. I have Lamar Jackson as it is. If I didn't have Lamar Jackson, would I just take Burrow at pick 70 for the good ADP value? I would consider it. If I had Chase Brown, I would do it. So, but I don't. This team has started off with CeeDee Lamb. I've got Bucky Irving, Lamar Jackson. Then I went Travion Henderson and Devonta Smith. I've got the nice little week 16 for Lamar Jackson. If I would have landed Waddle, I could have had some week 17 with Bucky. But I'm just kind of getting the best players available, guys that I think can win a large field tournament in a week 17 situation. Devonta Smith was on the winning one of the winning. Was he on the winning roster last year? I think Smith was, right? Let's double check that. Was Devonta Smith? And here's the classic David Montgomery. Let me pull up the notes. Yeah, Devonta Smith. I knew he was. I just couldn't. Why was I like stalling to think about it? Devonta Smith was on the winning roster and he hit the winning lineup. So proven tournament winning asset. No denying it. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he's just the joker that Sean Payton needs. Yeah, he's going to land Burrow. It's almost certain he's going to get Burrow in this one. Me, a 1-2-2-0 build. I'm looking at Pacheco, Addison, Myers, Jennings, even Judy's fine. I'm not going to take Burrow, right? So I'm going to take Pacheco first, who I think has the most upside of this group. To me, Addison, it's super close. It's really close. I'll be hopeful that maybe Addison comes back around. If not, I think I'll be able to get a wide receiver in this tier. I just have Addison at the top of this tier, even with his suspension. If he wasn't suspended, I would have him even higher ranked. But I'm cool with Myers or Jennings. The concern with Jennings is he actually injured? Is the calf a problem? Judy goes, ship my money, lands the Burrow 72 double stack with Evans and Metcalf and Ken Walker. He really should consider taking David Montgomery, Caleb Johnson there. He goes Sam Laporta. I guess that's fine too. A true 0 RB build. Technically a hero build around what he's doing with Ken Walker. I decided to go Addison there because, like I said, I'm gonna keep buying Addison. I think he's just really good and in a good system, good coaching. I'm way into Addison. If he wasn't getting suspended, I'd be drafting Addison around Smith and Waddle, I think. In the same tier with guys like Pearsall, Egbuka, Adunze, Flowers. Smith and Waddle are probably kind of the top of that tier or even in the previous tier. Who have you guys been targeting in rounds like 14, 15, 16 right now? Who are you pulling up that used to be an 18th round pick? For me, it's a lot of Tesla. It's a lot of Horton, Ollie Gordon, if I can get him. I've been more interested in pulling up Coker, of course, and a little bit of Daniel Jones. Who else? Who else do I like taking ahead in that range? I feel like it's a really good value right now for the late rounds to grab all of these exciting wide receivers. And actually, the late round running backs are not exciting at all right now. So I'm happy that I have 3 running backs that I like early. And I'm going to save roster spots to hammer the wide receivers in kind of those later rounds where I know a lot of upside guys that I like. The running backs, I mean, there's a lot of bad running back picks after 130, 140. Yeah, he didn't push Bro to 73. That was a rookie mistake. Sure. I think that late, though, it still kind of is get the guys who can be breakout winners. Like last year in those rounds, you could take a 0 on Jermaine Burton, but if you landed Pearsall, if you landed Chase Brown, Ty Chandler, you can have a 0. Thielen, you need to land like an upside, like, play with Thielen there. So you can get a bunch of zeros there, but you can also pull some guys up. I'm on the clock here. Pick 95. It's going to be Mark Andrews. Otherwise, do I push him and go for Bill? No, I think on this team, if Bill comes back around, I'll be happy to take him. But I need to get the Mark Andrews stack to really feel, justify going Lamar Jackson there. I could also take Dak. If Bill's not there, I go Dak. Higgins is interesting and fun. Mooney, I still like. Hopeful that he's not like in a really bad place with his shoulder. So Bill is there. It just becomes Bill or Dak. How many of my CeeDee Lamb teams? %70 of my CeeDee Lamb are with Dak. So this is the one I don't want to have with Dak. This is I kind of want to be benchmarked around 70% CeeDee Lamb with Dak. So I don't think I had Lamar Jackson with Dak, right? That was the whole point of this. Lamar, or not with Dak, with CD. Yeah, I didn't have a best ball mania with CD and Lamar. So the whole point of that is to not take Dak. So that's what I did there. Instead, I'm going to grab one Bill Krosky Merritt. You may have heard of him. Bill? Science rules. Yo, what's up, Pred Talk? How we doing, brother? Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Thanks for stopping in. And are you drafting in these streets? You getting some volume in? This is a best ball mania. I've got 14 left before I max. So I'm getting my last couple drafts in. Once you have 12 teams left, that's when you really start to think, whoa, I might not get another Jamar Chase team. I might not get another, Saquon Barkley team. So every last team counts. That's what I'm doing here. I was looking at my unique player combinations in this tournament. I noticed, and I've known this for a while, but I didn't have a CeeDee Lamb, Lamar Jackson team. So I went ahead and I'm going to pass on Dak. If Dak comes back around to 118, easy. Lightweight, baby. Easy money. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to play this through Lamar Jackson. This team, it's a 1-4-3-1 build. I went Lamar, Bucky, Hendo, Season, Pacheco. I got Big Bill, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Addison holding it down for the receivers, Mark Andrews. So I'm going to have to circle back to receiver at some point. But like I was saying, I'm pretty dialed in on the late round receivers right now, who to pull up and who I like. So I'm leaving some roster spots open for those guys. And Marvin Mims, he still goes at pick 109. He injured his groin today. Not a lot of people know this. It came out late. The Sean Payton tendencies. Jeff T, are you like a big Dobbins guy? I was like 20% Dobbins before he signed with the Broncos, and it's dwindled because I was getting at pick 180. So in this tournament particularly, I'm not like taking a bunch of Dobbins anymore. I guess I'm only at 3%. So that's kind of shocking to me. I thought I had a lot more Dobbins than that. I know I've got a bunch of Harvey though. 17% Harvey. I'm all in on Harvey. So I'm fading Dobbins in this tournament. The teams that I had him on, where I had him at pick 180, those are the ones that it's going to be, I guess. I would have guessed right now that my Dobbins, maybe it was 20% across all tournaments, but I would have guessed my Dobbins would have been closer to like 7 or 8%. It's only 3%. That's kind of, haven't drafted yet. Okay. One redraft, one dynasty. Very nice. I'm in a few. I've got a redraft coming up this weekend. My home league with my boys. That's coming up. It's a 10-team Superflex auction. The auction lasts about 5-6 hours sometimes. We do it on Labor Day weekend every year. We go to a destination and we draft this team. We're going to Wimberley, Texas this year for our team, for our draft. And I think we're in year, I want to say we're in year, we're almost in year 20. We're almost in year 20 of my home league. It's not quite 20 yet, but we're past 15. So it's somewhere in between. And then I just did an auction, not an auction. I just did a dynasty startup with PPR Tyler and a bunch of those guys. Ooh, let me make this pick. I've been taking Ayuk. I think I'll just go Ayuk. I think Ayuk's a good piece to have. He's going to miss early season, but I've got 4 strong running backs that are going to be hitting my flex. So I'm only going to have to start 3 receivers most of the time. Addison out, Brandon Ayuk out. I'm going to have some late wide receiver picks fill in. And I did land the stack with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. So that actually feels really nice to have pushed him and then already have Lamar Jackson. So I'm definitely considering just being done at 2 QB. This could be like a 2, 5 or 6, 8, 2 or 3 tight end. Yo, what's up, Bindles? How we doing, brother? Thanks for stopping in. My co-host, Bindles. We had our ballsy stream last night, our weekly show, and a lot of fun. We reviewed all of the teams we've drafted with our guest this summer. We must have reviewed, 10 teams. And some really good ones, some really interesting ones. A little bit too much Quinshon Judkins for my liking. A little bit too much Isaac Garendo on a few of the early ones. So I made some mental notes. I wrote a lot of notes down in my phone about I always do this during the summer. I always make notes for next year's best ball draft season. And I'll let y'all in after this draft. I'll kind of show y'all some of my notes, some of my highlights, my takeaways season over season for next year to tell myself in the future. So Pred wants to know, who'd you draft first overall in Superflex 14-team redraft? I'm taking Josh Allen. No question about it. But if you don't want Josh Allen, I would highly recommend going either Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels. But I think for me, it's Josh Allen. Jeff T is just living in the past. We're all trying to live in the future. Like the Chiefs. Yes, sir. I mean, Hartman, look at my Tesla exposure. And this is current because I've been drafting him like a madman, and I might draft him here right now. I'm at 12% Tesla, baby. At the same time, if Blue is there, if Ferguson's there, I might just have to do it. On this build, I might still obviously need to get receivers soon. So then, like, I have Tesla ranked at 145. I think I can push him around the corner. I don't think people are going to take him that early. I'll take him that early. Gordon is still there. Well, these guys have tight ends. He's got Evan Ingram stacked, and he's got Laporta. So I might just push Ferguson and get Tesla now so I don't miss out. And then if Ferguson goes, I can get Blue. Yeah, that's the move. Tesla's the one I want. Boom. You've seen Tesla go on at pick 142. Well, now you have. If you haven't already seen it, Dante Thornton's also been rising a bunch. He goes 141. So if I see Thornton go, that's my cue to hit Tesla. Who'd you rather have, Tesla or Demario Douglas? To me, probably Tesla right now. Ferguson does go. I mean, they're going to get Blue or Gordon if I'm lucky. Worst case scenario, we just take Dallas Goedert here. And I could use another receiver anyways. I think it's a little bit early for this next tier of receivers for me, unless I wanted to pull up Thielen, but I'm sitting at 15% Thielen. So now, do I want Blue? Do I want Gordon? Easy. Jaden Blue team. Come on down. Probably not going to get Gordon this time. The thing with Gordon, though, is I think he has standalone value, but he doesn't have league winning potential without Achane being severely injured. And I'm in the camp that says Achane's fine. So like I'm leaning back into drafting Achane around pick 14, like right where he went in this one, ahead of Genty, ahead of Henry. The 11th round pick for Team 5, what did they get? Let's just see. Oh yeah, Javonte. I would agree. I just don't know how Javonte Williams can win it for you in week 17. Maybe hits the flex, best case scenario, throws in some touchdowns, but I'm just the inefficiency of Javonte Williams post injury. I'm not interested. The Broncos didn't want him. Pred, I'm cool with Jaden Daniels. I've been saying it's Jaden Daniels' season for a while. He's my of the elite quarterbacks. I'll show you my exposure in Best Ball Mania, right? So like Jaden Daniels, if I can spell it, I'm at 13%. Lamar, I'm at 11%. I just took him again. Josh Allen, I'm at 7%. So I'm a little bit lower Josh Allen, but he also usually goes first. And then Hurts, 7%. I need to get a little bit more Hurts. Burrow, 7%, but that's kind of standard. So I've been taking guys like Dak later, right? 13% Dak. What about Jared Goff? Apparently I'm the world's biggest Jared Goff fan, 18%. Yeah, Bindles is in on Daniels too. We're super like if you gave me $100 today, shout out to Justin Herzig for his FF and 60 newsletter. His question of the day today was you get $100, you're going to put it on an MVP odds for someone to win. Who would you vote for? I would pick Jaden Daniels to win MVP in 2025. It's like plus 750. You could easily pick Josh Allen or Lamar. I think they're like plus 250 or something, like much lower odds, much higher odds to win, much lower kind of payout. Hartman, aka Sharpman, you're too sharp. Franklin at 160, that's kind of new news, but it's get your guys season, right? Not sold on Jaden Blue. That's all right. I'm gonna get all of the Jaden Blue. I'm at 25% Jaden Blue. A quarter of my teams have Jaden Blue. I'm looking to win these big tournaments. I want the most upside. I want the most electric players, pass catching upside, guys that can score touchdowns. Jaden Blue had 14 touchdowns. He led all running backs in the FBS last year with 6 receiving touchdowns. Horton's there, easy money. Otherwise, Thielen and Coker, I want both of them too. This opens up a late Sam Darnold if I had to do it. I'm kind of tempted to get Thielen first. I'm going to grab Thielen first. I've got the Addison connection, so I've already got like the Minnesota built out and the Week 17 bring back with Tesla. Plus, I think Adam Thielen's going to fill in really strong early season where I have Ayuk and Addison out, right? So I pivoted there. Horton's dealing with a little ankle injury himself, but he seems good to go. Also, based on the current ADP, the chance I can get Horton or Coger with my next pick was much higher. They're probably both going to be there. The question becomes, do I want Zach Ertz or Chig Okonkwo? And to me, the answer is no. Tight ends don't matter. Coker or Horton? This actually becomes a really hard question. I'm going to go Horton. I'm going to go Horton there. Hope I don't regret that. Coker, Horton, toss up. I might just stop with the 5 running backs now that I have guys that I like a lot. I got the 3 rookies, Pacheco and Irving to hold it down. Don't have any serious bye week issues with the running backs. And then the receivers, I don't really have any issues at all. 2-5-7-1 build. Gonna have to take another tight end at some point, but not yet. Keep pushing that to later rounds when the values on tight ends get much better. Jonnu Smith going in round 16, 17. Easy money. Yeah, you can win fantasy football. You can win your redraft league with Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen. It might matter week to week, but over the course of the season, I think the outcomes should be really good for all 3 of them. I mean, I've never thought of Blue as being injury prone. He was never injured in college. So he's had the heel bruise, he rolled the ankle. These are just fluke things that happen. I think kind of over worrying about rookie injuries when it's nothing like long term is a little bit of like a trap to FUD for the rookies that are the most exciting, players. Yo, what's up, Chandler Constantino? For sure, brother. If you want to tag me on Twitter at FFB Garage, I can pull your team on stream. We can take a look at it. If you want to type it into the chat, that works too. You can let me know what kind of league you're in, all that kind of stuff. Hope you're having a great night. Appreciate you being here. I'm wrapping up this Best Ball Mania, so I'll get into the deep details of looking at your team if you want after I take these next 3 picks. Yeah, for sure. Well, best ball is fantasy football, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, Coker is a fun pick. We've been taking a lot of Coker. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Can you Thielen, Mr. Krabs? 100%. I've been taking so much Adam Thielen. It's not even funny. And I would argue his situation just improved going to the Vikings. Potentially better quarterback play, definitely better coaching, better offense, maybe better games to be in, better week 17 matchup. Oh, JT Sanders going there, a nice pick. I would push Darnold. I would keep pushing Darnold. I have a really strong team. So, yeah, Darnold goes here. I'm going to go ahead and take a tight end. Do I want Gesicki? I kind of do. I take too much Gesicki, though. I'll go Gesicki. I have way too much Gesicki, but I want pieces of good offenses. So I think this is just going to be a 2 quarterback build. So 2-6-8-2. I can take another running back, another receiver. I'll stop with Gesicki and Andrews. I don't really see the point in taking another tight end. And if I do, it'd be my last pick. So with this one, maybe I go one more receiver because I've got the suspensions and the injuries early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, trying to cover those spots. I don't have any crazy buy overlaps. I'm cool with Knoll here. He's usually available late. Malik Washington's kind of a fun click. I might just pull up Malik Washington because I didn't get Waddle earlier. And yeah, I'm going to do Malik Washington there. I do like Knoll a good amount. I've got a bunch of Knoll teams and usually at some pretty steep prices. But Malik Washington, he plays into my Bucky week 17. And also, he's been having a pretty good camp, pretty good preseason. If I'm fading Tyreek Hill with his oblique and just being an issue in the locker room, Malik Washington role increases. I think his role increases regardless of the Tyreek Hill situation, just through Jonnu Smith going to the Steelers and vacating all those targets. Jonnu Smith, 88 catches last season, was 111 targets, something crazy like that. And then at this range, all of the running backs are kind of the same. Same thing with the late tight ends. So I'll just take whoever I think is best available when it comes back around. I'm kind of confused with the Jermaine Burton picks. That seems to me like a really weird pick. I've done it once on a Joe Burrow team. This is very true. And yards per touch, he's going to be like closer to 6.5 because he's going to be catching the ball. Yeah, Horton's a guy. I like Horton. Always Coker. We've gotten so much Coker, and now I also have so much Horton because I've been playing catch up the last 2 weeks with Horton. But I'll circle it back and get more Coker too. Just didn't feel like the right team this one. I definitely wanted to get Horton. I know. But let's see. Thad, do tight ends matter? Because it's always hashtag QBs matter. Yo, what's up, Eddie? Yeah, I think, Dobbins, I think he kind of like slowed down last year. I think his splits early season were better than late season. Either way, I'm all in on Harvey. Yeah, I do too. I thought I had more. I think I have more Dobbins across all tournaments than I do just in Best Ball Mania, which was kind of surprising to me. I just found out, looked into it. Otten's dealing with an injury. He's uncertain for week 1. But I don't think he's a bad pick to go. Like, I think he's better than being undrafted in a really high-powered passing offense. I've already got Bucky. So I'm tempted to just go Otten there as a last-round pick and stick with these 5 running backs. If I took another running back, there's no QBs I want. If I took another running back, it would be, Hunter. I'd be like ETN. Ooh, Otten goes. Okay. I think Fryermuth is also kind of interesting, but I don't have to bet on. I've gotten more ETN lately. I don't have any Kendre Miller. Oh, I almost threw in Manny Wilson last second for the week 17 correlation with the Ravens. I didn't even think about it until that moment. It's fine. I do want to have more than none Kendre Miller, but I think it's still Kamara's backfield. And I'm pretty overweight Kamara. I feel like I haven't drafted Kamara in ages, but I'm at 13%. Maybe the Saints can have, more than one relevant running back for fantasy. So Kendre Miller, we're hearing good things. He looks healthy. I feel like it's we've been wanting to see things from Kendre Miller uh since his days at TCU. He never really hit coming out. He's been injured every season. I was very bullish on Kendre Miller as a rookie. I had 20% Kendre Miller in best ball tournaments his rookie season. So I used to be way in on Kendre. It's been a while. Maybe he does something nice for this team. I think I covered my bases pretty well. I don't have any Packers for the week 17 with the Ravens, but I do have Travion for week 16. I've got Gesicki for week 15. I do have Bill Krosky Merritt for 17 with my Prescott. I've also got Thielen and Addison for my week 15 Minnesota. No Chargers on this one. It's a 2-6-8-2 build. I said I was going to try to get Lamar Jackson with CeeDee Lamb because I hadn't done that combination in Best Ball Mania. It ended up being a smash because I pushed Dak Prescott and I got him at 118, where he used to be going in the beginning of the summer, but I was not expecting Dak to come back around. So I stopped with the two QBs, Dak and Lamar, probably the best, other than Burrow and maybe Goff, maybe Baker Mayfield. I would put Dak in this category to lead the league in passing, pretty high up there. Lamar Jackson to lead the league in rushing among QBs. So I've got a really high floor just with those two QBs. I like this team. Bucky Irving, Travion Henderson, Pacheco, Bill, Blue, and Kendre Miller. CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Addison. He's going to miss 4 out of the first 6 games. 3 suspended in the week 6 bye, but I've also got Thielen now on Minnesota. He'll cover that. And then when Addison's back from the suspension, I just have 2 good receivers on a good offense. Team stack. Tesla for the mini bring back there in week 17. Ayuk going to be injured, but we don't know how long. Maybe he plays by week 5, 6. I hope he plays by week 6. Then he can cover, Thielen and Addison being on a bye. Horton, injuries don't seem too serious. Big upside swing. Malik Washington, kind of same thing. Hearing good things in camp, like I said. Mark Andrews for the stack. Gesicki, late tight end that I have way too much of. This team is fun. I like this team a lot. Yo, Chandler, let me check. You can follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. You can tag me if you post your team there. I'll review it for you real quick. If you just want to text it into the chat, that's cool too, but a little bit harder to, process. And then someone let me know, Jeff or Eddie or Kriyoth, what's up, brother? Let me know. I have not finished setting up the monetization for the channel, but does it even give you an option to subscribe or to super chat or do any of that stuff? Like, do you see the availability of sending a super chat? I'm not asking you to do it. I'm just asking if it's there. Because I started setting it up, but I didn't finish. So I was going to finish it this weekend maybe. But I'm curious what it looks like now that we've hit 500 and I'm officially monetized. I'm officially a YouTube partner. They send me an email. It's pretty cool. So I'm just learning. We're building the plane as we're flying it. Hell yeah. It's a really fun duo. I like that. It's like I was saying, in tight end premium they do. Yeah, for sure, for sure. True. I threw him in there because I had 0 Kendre, so I would hate to have 0 Kendre. And on this team, I was going to go Cade Otton. I didn't really even need Kendre. Maybe I could have taken Damian Pierce. Maybe I could have gone Jarquez Hunter, Trevor Etienne, Manny Wilson, Guy. But I feel like at least we know Kendre is the number 2. And he might not even ever matter on this team. He might not even hit the lineup ever once. Whoop. This is a good point. So I'm back in. Now I'm excited that I took him. Full circle. Yeah. I think so too. I was kind of saying this to Bindles last night on the Ballsy show. Next time I build a 0 RB team, I want to pull up Pacheco and prioritize him as like the anchor. And so I got Pacheco here as late as I've seen him go recently, around pick 70. Obviously, he started off this draft season like 2, 3 rounds later, but he's been rising. I think Connor, Pollard, and Pacheco could all be really fun late 0 RB targets in round 6. But I would even Swift, maybe he's not as exciting. People are pretty out on Swift. He's risen a bunch. But I would, the end of the 5th round, if you started 0 RB from the back end of the board, you could target any of those guys. They're going to be there in the 5, 6 turn. Maybe even grab 2 of them, double tap. Not a true 0 RB build, but probably just get one if you're trying to go bona fide 0 RB and you have like an elite tight end like Kittle, or you pulled Bowers there. Maybe McBride falls, but we never see McBride fall anymore to the end of the 3rd round. Or if you have the elite QBs, which generally do go in this range, we see Jaden Daniels go in the 3rd here. Hurts go early in the 4th. So, fun draft. Hey, nice squad for sure. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Pride Talk, you might be right. I mean, I drafted 35, 40%, probably 50. Half my teams were probably 0 RB last year. I'm a little bit burned on that. I think it just all depends on the value of the market, what's going on. So the options there, hell yeah. Hey, Sharpman, my man, the first official super chat on the channel. It's been a long time coming. I'm gonna Venmo you $1.99 right now. You're too kind, man. Appreciate you. Send a super chat to make sure it works. He says, no, I said don't send a super chat. Okay, I'm gonna Venmo you that one right back. Hartman and I, you guys already follow Hartman's channel as well. But if you're new here, if you're hanging out tonight and you're new, make sure you're subscribed to Hartman's YouTube channel. And he and I think we drafted like 30 teams this summer. Best ball manias, all other tournaments, crazy stuff. We also did a high stakes FFPC big gorilla $350 entry we split together, and waivers run a week from today. So I was checking, Hartman. You made me think the waivers ran tonight, but I checked. The waivers run, as far as I know, right? The waivers are running next Wednesday. But I liked all of the players you had mentioned, and I think you and I obviously are on the same wavelength for the options to pick up. I think we blow our fab early. I'm gonna send Steph Miller a message on Discord and get her thoughts. But I think we blow our fab early because we drafted so early in the summer. We drafted in June. So much has changed already. I think it would be stupid not to spend like more than half of our fab right out the gate and just completely reset our team and get like 2 or 3 players that we know we have to have. I think maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that's the way we should do it. I honestly don't know how much fab we're going to need the rest of the season. Essentially, any given week we could put in waivers, and there's going to be QBs available and things like that, tight ends for bye weeks. So I have no idea, Dirty P, but I've heard other people talk about it. Like I hear PPR Tyler or BBG talk about it. I think every dollar that gets sent from subscriptions or super chats, I think YouTube takes 50%, is as far as I know what I've heard. But I had not read through all of the details. They sent me like this 10-page thing I'm supposed to read to finish the monetization. And then also they have a $10 threshold. You can't finish setting up your monetization and stuff until you get $10 in income or something. I don't know if that's for taxes or what. But then I started setting up logos. So I have 2 tiers for subscriptions that I'm going to come out with. And obviously this is, it's the end of best ball summer, but I'm going to stick around and we'll do some end season stuff too. But next summer, I'll be definitely pumping the subs, but I'm doing a $3.99 first tier sub, which is called the Inner Circle. And for 1 month, you get a yellow Lamborghini. For 2, you get a blue Lamborghini. For 3 months, you get the white Lambo, which is pretty nice. And then I think if you make it to 6 months, you get the Fantasy Football Garage logo, which is my little logo over there. That'll be for the real ones. And then the second tier, which I think has the same icons, but I haven't figured out yet why the icon wouldn't be different. The second tier, so that's $3.99. The second tier was like $6.99 or maybe $5.99, and it's called the Lamborghini owner tier. So that's my first pass at setting up the subs and then also you get emotes, and I made the logo and the Lamborghini different colors all emotes. And then I'll definitely add to it. I want to get the ballsy logo as an emote too. I'll do a Bindles face. I'll do a me face. I'm gonna try to set that up this weekend, but I don't know if I have time. I'm going on vacation this weekend as well. I'm going on a golf trip to Florida, and I have my home league draft. I got a lot going on this Labor Day. Appreciate you, Hartman. Yeah, the first one. Don't worry, Eddie. I will. Outplayed. Yeah, Hartman. Actually, I'm starting to charge for ads too, and for every shout out, for every free 10-second ad, I'm actually charging $1,000 to future sponsors of the stream. So if you're listening, Splash Sports. If you're listening, who else do we got that we like? Everyone else, Underdog. I'll take site credits. I mean, it's been a while, but technically we're supposed to be also promoting Fast Draft because I have a code there. Use code Garage when you sign up on Fast Draft to get 50% deposit match. And I also do want to draft a few more Fast Draft teams before the end of the summer. So maybe late tonight, but I don't have my phone charger here to display my phone on screen. So probably end up being tomorrow night would be fun too. Maybe do some fast drafts tomorrow would be kind of fun. It's usually fast draft Friday, but I don't think I'm going to stream this Friday. I have like a flight, and I told you I'm going on vacation. The third, yes sir, yes sir. Okay, we're on the same page. Which is so true. I think I saw Devin Neal on one of my early May drafted teams, and I almost threw up. But at the same time, Devin Neal was kind of good in college for Kansas. He just not really hitting. Yeah, I think Ollie's the obvious one. And then, like Tesla was there, Coker was there. We have T-Max, so Coker's probably not the priority. I think Tesla, obviously. And then, Bryce Young was unrostered. I think Daniel Jones was unrostered. There was one more player I was thinking of too. Just keep the Venmo and Cash App on screen. That's next tier thinking. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll right where it says best ball overlay, use code garage. I'll throw in like a QR code for Venmo or Cash or PayPal or whatever, Cash App. That's honestly next level thinking. I'll have to check the terms of service, Dirty Pete. That might be illegal on YouTube. I honestly don't know. I'll use AI to search and find out the terms of service. Maybe that's why no one does it. I'm pretty sure if you're YouTube partnered, you're not allowed to do that, is why no one does it. You can just talk about it. So like you could just, you could talk about it. Hey, Reflect the Sun sending a super sticker. I'm going to pull up my YouTube because I'm on StreamYard right now is how I'm doing all this. But I'm going to pull up the YouTube. I want to see what that sticker is. Oh, it's a big thumbs up. Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. My man, Reflect the Sun. Very kind of you. Obviously, super chats, subscriptions to the channel are not required to hang out here, but I appreciate y'all for doing it. It's kind of funny to me because we've never had it, right? This is the very first stream. Actually, technically, last night was the first stream after 500 subs, but my man, hell yeah, Reflect the Sun, a true OG of the chat this summer. Let me see. I got something cooking up. Let me see. Do this. Do this. Boom. Saved. Reflect the Sun. You're a moderator now, my guy. That's the first perk I can think of. I have no idea what moderators can do. Ask Hartman. He's a moderator. But you're definitely a mod for this channel. I don't even know what that means. Also, there's subscription perks, and I was in the middle of setting it up, but it's pretty much the same things you'd see anywhere. Like you could do subscription only members, streams, videos. You can do all that kind of stuff. I think what I will do going forward for team reviews and for saucing, I think I am going to make it a thing where I just say like, hey, super chat, whatever amount. But if you super chat, that's what it will take for me to sauce or review your team. I think that's just kind of fun and kind of like a standard practice best ball bro approach to coaxing out the super chats. But as I said, not required, but I super appreciate it. You guys are too kind. A pair of red clown shoes as an emote. I mean, that's kind of a good idea, but that's coming out of left field dirty. Just because, like, if we can throw out some clown shoes, if someone makes a clown pick. When's the last time I did a fast draft? Hartman, that's a good question. Last time I did one on stream was like probably like June or maybe early July. But I did a couple fast drafts to close out each of the last tournaments that have closed. And then I think I've done like 3 of the current $10 rabbit tournaments, which is like you draft 15 players. I've done a couple of them on fast draft Fridays. I think I did one 2 Fridays ago, and I'm in the Discord too. So like you can post the teams to Discord. There's different like things going on there, but I do want to do some more fast drafts. I think it's just kind of fun, different, and I like the user. I like the interface, and then it's just different. I like taking advantage of new tournaments, new formats that people like don't know what to do. Speaking to that on the fast draft, like they had the Flex 4 tournament. I would see players drafting. Okay, it's Flex 4. You start 4 players every week, you draft 6. I would see people drafting teams with 3 players that have a week 8 bye, which means in week 8, you're flexing 3. And it's a marathon format. It's season-long scoring. I guarantee you cannot win if you have 3 players on the same bye, because that week you'll have the ability to score from 3 players, and the odds are that the player pool is so small in that format that the odds are that I'm going to have every player you have plus one other player that's not on the bye, and I'm going to score 5, 10 more points than you that week, and I win. You can't beat me. So like I saw that early on, and that was my one issue with the turbo mode was you can't set limits on bye weeks, but I would still get in there all summer long. I was doing the Flex 4. I did like dozens of them. People in every single draft would have 3 players on one bye week and not think twice about it. But in a marathon format where there's no pods, you just have to score the most points. You cannot win. You would have to have such a unique combination, and your players would have to score so much that you would lap the next highest opponent with, by more than whatever that player would have scored in that week that you had a bye and you had a blank lineup. So that's enough strategy there. But something I've been thinking about all summer that I haven't shared a ton of, but I've mentioned it on the Discord there. And when I mentioned it on the Discord, people it almost didn't click for some people in the Discord too, which I thought was interesting. I mean, just small edges. Hell yeah. Okay, Jeff T. I love this idea. We're also going to look at the Ryder Cup. Okay. We're looking at the Ryder Cup real quick before we we do some more drafting. So obviously we had the top 6 automatic qualifiers with Scotty Scheffler, JJ Spawn having a hell of a year, Xander, Russell Henley, first timer, Bryson DeChambeau, and Harris English, who had played in 2021. A lot of these guys, Spawn's first timer, Henley's a first timer. All of the other guys have played twice, except for English had been in once. I think twice or 3 times. Justin Thomas, a great pick, having a great season, and a true competitor. He's been in 3 times. Morikawa, it's going to be his 3rd time. I also agree with this pick. Although Morikawa's had pretty bad year for Morikawa compared to his own standard. Ben Griffin, a hell of a year. It's his first time. Love that pick. Cameron Young, also his first time. Love that pick too. He really came on hot at the end of the season. Cantlay, just a standard, great putting, great player. And he's been there, done that before. Sam Burns, a very, very good short game player, very accurate player, great around the green. I like that pick. And then, yeah, all the auto guys. So the American team, American golf has never been deeper, never been more talented. The fields have never been stronger. From the USA, but also across the world. Like golf has never been stronger, deeper, more talented. But the Americans right now just have so many good players. It's going to be a fun one. Yeah, me too, Kriyoff. I think I had more than the field, Devin Neal. I might have had like 10, 12%. I thought he could have been a guy. And he was expensive too. He was going like pick 140, 150, which is total eh. Hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Glad you thought it was helpful. Always like to hear that. We're just here to have fun, good vibes, learning every day, trying to get sharper, trying to get an edge, draft some shippers. Yeah, Royals was out there. Thornton was out there. Horton was the other guy I was thinking about tossing. Yeah, so Thornton and Horton I'm in on. With Royals, I just don't know, but I can be convinced. But yeah, I guess you can ban. So in honor. Hello. True, true. If you talk bad about Tootin in front of Bindles, if Bindles is in the chat or if he's on stream and you mistalk about Tootin, that's grounds to be banned. Not a real ban, but like a timeout. Same thing. If you ever slander Jaden Blue in this chat, you better bring the facts, you better bring the stats, and you better back up the talk. Especially if I'm wearing my Longhorns cap. And you already know it's week 1 of the college football season in Texas. Number 1 for the first time in program history to start the season, going off against the last team that beat them in the college football semifinals in Arlington, Texas. I would know I was at that game. Jaden Blue scored 2 touchdowns. Trayvon Henderson scored a touchdown. I think Judkins had... That was the next game. Judkins had touchdowns in the next game, but I was there in Arlington in the stands at the game. Texas lost. It was very close. Right before halftime, Trayvon Henderson, 60-yard screen pass, catch and run touchdown, destroyed the no one touched him, destroyed the defense. Texas, best defense, one of the best defenses in the country last season, the best defense in the country this season. Good luck, Ohio State. You're going to need it, even in a home game. Texas takes down Ohio State either 23 or 27 to either 13 or 16. So that's my ranges. If I had to pick a score, I'm going to say 23 to 13. Texas wins. Their quarterback, Ohio State's quarterback, Sayin, transfer from Alabama. He was heavily recruited by Sark to Austin over 2 summers. 5-star QB recruit. It's his first start ever. And he's going up against the best defense in the nation. One of the best coordinators and coaches, Steve Sarkisian, who game scripts out, the game way ahead of time. So they're going to need it. Between Texas and Ohio State, 26 players were drafted to the NFL that were starters last season. Completely new rosters on both sides, really, except we still have Arch Manning and Trey Wisner and DeAndre Moore, Anthony Hill Jr. We have Simmons. There's a lot of pieces there. We've had some transfers for our defensive tackles. Really good transfers. Yeah, Jeff T. Smell like tuna? That could be seen as a good thing. High protein diet. A lot of tuna. Not me personally. I'm more of a salmon guy. I was supposed to eat salmon tonight. I forgot to eat dinner. I'm going to eat dinner after the stream. Hartman, I need to do one. I have one in the hopper. I need to do I need to do an SBS draft. I've seen you and I've seen who Hames doing them. So like my only question is on that, and I need to clarify. You can let me know, Hartman. If you take Dallas wide receiver 1, is that the wide receiver 1 who scores the most wide receiver points for Dallas any given week? And then if you took Dallas wide receiver 2, you would only get the points. So like if CD hit 25 points and then Pickens hit 24 points, if you had both of those, you get the 25 and the 24, right? But then like the next week, if Pickens does 5 points if CD does 5 points and Pickens does 20 points, and you only have the wide receiver 1, are you CD or are you Pickens? Because then I think you're Pickens, right? It switches to whoever's the top score for that week. It switches. That's my whole thought, my whole question. Because I think I know that it's true, but I haven't confirmed it, and I need to do that draft. I was thinking about doing it tonight or tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Joe Highsmith, yes, from Tacoma, Washington. Yep. Who else is from? There's other players from Washington. There's a few golfers from Washington. I'm trying to think. Joe Highsmith is definitely one of them, right? I'm trying to think who else. I'm just searching it right now. It'll come up. Who else? Was it? I know there's a few guys. Fred Couples just came up from Seattle. I wasn't thinking of him specifically, but Andrew Putnam, wasn't thinking of him specifically. Joe Highsmith. I guess that's it. Those are the guys. Yeah, Freddie Couples. Yo, what's up, Steve? It's going good, man. Steve was ripping some drafts earlier on stream. And Steve, you were doing the first quarter contest. Is that right? How are you liking that so far? Yo, what's up, Kobe? Is K9, Kenneth Walker, and RJ Harvey solid RBs to keep? I got Lamb and Nico as wide receiver, had pick 109 in a 12-man PPR. Yeah, solid RBs to keep. If you're talking about, if this is specific to like a keeper question, let me know. But are you just asking, like, do I like those running backs since you started with Lamb, Nico? Yeah, if you got Lamb at the 109, then you got Nico with your second round pick. In your third and fourth round, you went K9 and Harvey. I'm in. I love that start. Pull up Golden's prospect profile and analyze it objectively. Very easy. I'll shorthand it though. Look at Dwayne McFarland's supermodel. His high-end comp for Matthew Golden is Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey, Matthew Golden, both first-round draft picks. Golden has higher draft capital. Golden's faster, similar size, had more college production than Ladd McConkey. Played for an SEC program, very similar. So Dwayne McFarland comped this back in June, and or maybe it was even April, May, or June, and it clicked for me. I was like, that's the comp. Matthew Golden is Ladd McConkey. So I could analyze it, but that's the shorthand version. And it's a high-end comp, but hey, you want high-end outcomes. We're drafting for the highest-end outcomes. Oh, there's Hames. Good luck guarding Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, true. Jeremiah Smith, I think probably the best wide receiver in the country. So they do have that, but you just run, two high safeties and you bracket coverage on Jeremiah Smith. It's still the Texas defense is the best defense in the country. They're not going to be able to run as effectively without Henderson and Judkins. And the passing game, we got them covered. It's DBU University. Not worried. What's up, Tyler? How we doing, brother? How your drafts going? Hey, champ. That's funny. The Jeopardy champ. Yeah, okay. I thought so. It switches every week. I thought so. Who Hames helped me out there. Yeah. Right. Okay. I want to get into it. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. That was awesome. Yeah, Ryan Moore is one of them. I saw his name come up. Nice. I don't think I'll do any, but I'm intrigued. If I was like guesting on a stream or like someone else was doing it, I'd be definitely interested in gigabraining it, but I don't have the time to research it and really work through weeks 1 to 4 right now. I'm still focused on closing out Best Ball Mania. And I was hoping the Eliminator would still be open, but we all know the Elim closed early in August. Nice. Yeah, go to bat. That's it. That's what I got. Steve said it. If Steve said it, you know it's right. And then Steve, you saw MVS. Didn't he sign with the Niners? Am I crazy? No. Yes. Where did he end up? Um, I'm searching it, but I think we're gonna know in the chat before I can search it. Where did MVS sign? He released by the Seahawks, and then 49ers, right? 49ers. I thought it was. That's maybe a better landing spot than the Seahawks. Huhame's an early comper, very sharp, giving the same comp. Again, we're still talking about Golden and his lad light. Yep. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, Michael Putnam was from Tacoma too, in Highsmith, the Tacoma Country Club. I've never played golf out there, but I think it would be really fun. That's true too. That's true too. To the Niners. You called up Kyle to save the bags. Love that. True. You gotta crank those out. Gotta crank those ones out. I know what Hartman's doing this weekend. Fun stuff. Appreciate the supers in the chat. First time for everything. You guys are awesome. I have jumped into another Best Ball Mania. It's 2 to start. If you want to draft it, good luck. I mean, 2 out of 12 advance, but if you're going to draft against me, you're looking for a 1 out of 11. So be warned. It should pop up soon. Still waiting on one more if y'all want to join. I'm feeling generous. Y'all can jump in if you want. We did a ton of Best Ball Manias all summer long where you guys joined in that, and other times too. I'm trying to sneak in the rest of most of these ones just because I don't want to be in the same room as Hames or Steve or Hart or Sharpman or most of you guys. We gotta spread the pods around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The clown shoes emotes were made for MVS talk. Ooh, dirty, calling him out. Oh, I got the 2 spot. Hell yeah. Okay, what are we drafting from the 2 spot in this draft? We just did CeeDee Lamb at the 3. What do I need to get exposures on? I need a little bit more Justin Jefferson. Let me hit refresh. I think I'm just going to go CeeDee Lamb again. No, I'm going to do Gibbs this time. I want to be a little bit higher on Gibbs. The problem with Gibbs, though, is the trade-off. It's so easy to get to hammer the running backs at the 2-3 turn. I'm going to go Gibbs just to stay balanced. I just took a CeeDee Lamb team. And I'm not saying I don't want all the Lamb I can get, but I also want all the Gibbs I can get because I think Gibbs is, I mean, people have been saying this, but I've been saying it for a lot of summer too. I think he's just like my favorite first round running back bet for 2025 based on his pass catching upside and the offense he's in. A little bit worried about the new OC, a little bit worried about the offensive line changes, but it's the passing game coordinator now who's the OC, Morton, so it should be good. Yo, what's up? It's Randy Marsh. Timon, show us what's up, brother. 10 team, half PPR. Would you trade DJ Moore, Hunter, Chubb for Kittle, Rice, Corum? Okay, so I don't want to trade Travis Hunter. I think DJ Moore is a fine piece as well. I don't like Chubb, just not for me. But I do like Kittle. Rice with the 6-game suspension is not going to be good for redraft. Corum has no value. It's all contingent. So I would just keep your players. But let me see in the chat, like, what do you guys think? Even with the rest of your team, I don't want to get rid of Travis Hunter. I want to see it, and then his price is going to go up when people see how good he is. Even DJ Moore, I think, in this format is fine. Kittle might be nice, but what you can get away with playing Goddard. I think you'll be fine. I don't think Corum adds anything to your team, and then you don't want to sit on the Rice suspension for 6 weeks. That's half the season in that format in a redraft league. But great question. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night, my friend. Make sure you guys vote in the YouTube poll. Are you guys in on RJ Harvey? He's on the thumbnail tonight, or are you fading him? Are you more of a Dobbins guy? Also, make sure you slap that like button. 25 likes to get a second draft. I think we've only got likes, and I already started the second draft. So let's play catch up. Let's get 7 more likes before I pick again. We got 21 watching. We can definitely get at least 21 likes, right? That makes sense. Chambers Bay. Oh, yeah, the US Open. Yep. You know, Spieth was the one name that was kind of missing from the Ryder Cup this year, but he's not been having a good season. He had the wrist injury last year, and then it's not been a year to remember for Jordan Spieth. So obviously he's not picked. He didn't deserve it, but it's tough. It's tough when you don't see guys you've seen in every Ryder Cup for like the last decade: Brooks, Koepka, Spieth, and then Dustin Johnson's been falling off for a while, but DJ. So Gibbs, I've got him with McConkey a bunch. Irving, Josh Jacobs. I don't have him too much with T. Higgins, actually. None with Lamar Jackson or Hampton. So those are guys to consider. If Vlad McConkey's there, though, I think I just do it, even though I have it a decent amount. I don't have it too much. And I do want to stay even at wide receiver. So I get a little bit lucky there that Lad falls all the way to pick 23. I think it's a great pick there. I might take T. Higgins if he's there. I think that's my next best pick. But I don't want to pass up on Josh Jacobs. I think he's also a very good player and a very good offense. McBride, I'm probably not going that direction. T. Higgins is gone. Let's cross fingers. Can I get Josh Jacobs? If not, I might just pull up Lamar or Hampton. Let me think. Is there anyone else I possibly could want? No, I think I will just take Josh Jacobs because I've got 2 swings right now at running backs who are truly elite and can win the week, win a 3-week stretch. I'm going to go to my running back data. This is summarized. You guys have heard me talk about it, explain what we're looking at. Jahmyr Gibbs, he had 9 3-game slates last season where he averaged 17 or more points in half-point PPR. And if 5 of those, he was averaging 20 or more points. So his elite, he's 33% of the slates. He's elite. One of the best, Jahmyr Gibbs. We all know that. One of the highest floors. He was always an RB2 in scoring. 60% of the time, he's an RB1 in scoring, not just ranking, but actual scoring thresholds across a 3-game slate. So no inconsistency, only the highest, most consistent players. Josh Jacobs is pretty similar, not too far off. 33% of the time scoring, elite. That's 8 of those were RB1 scoring threshold. He had a little bit lower floor, only 87% of the time. So he had a few weeks where he didn't even score consistently across 3 weeks as a RB3 scoring threshold, which would be I think I have it at 10 points. Yeah, RB2 is 13, RB3 is 10 points. So they're arbitrary thresholds, but I think they're pretty accurate to what I would expect, high outcomes to be. So yeah, Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs, last season, two of the best running backs you could have picked, among others. And what's changed? Gibbs potentially is going to get more work this year, we hope. Jacobs, the offensive line's only gotten better. Maybe they throw a little bit more. They should throw a little bit more, but Jacobs is also the pass catching back for them. We know Jacobs plays a healthy amount of snaps, and I think he will again because I don't see a ton of competition in that backfield. Let's get this to load. I'm about to make a pick in 5 picks. Come on. Player profiler will not load. Sometimes it just doesn't load. It's probably more about my internet than this with all the tabs that I have open, but we've experienced this before. I'm up in 5 picks still. Can we get the page to load? Nope. All right, we're giving up. Nope, there it goes. Josh Jacobs last season, 63% snap share, 67% opportunity share. That's pretty high enough. Higher than Derrick Henry. Higher than Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs would have been lower because he was splitting the work with Montgomery so much. If I remember correctly, right? Yeah, 53, 53, 56, 53 for Gibbs. Gibbs, the most explosive rusher per touch last year among running backs. I'm going to have to catch up with y'all in a second in the chat. I see y'all popping off. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subbed. Come say what up in the chat. I got 2 picks to make real quick, and then I'll catch up. Travion, it's Travion's season. I'm not, just because I've got 2 RBs, I can pull it out with Calvin with my next pick. And then I'm fine. So like Calvin's good, Sutton's good, Jalen Waddle. There's too many good picks here. It's a very flat tier at wide receiver. I'll try to go that way, but Gibbs, Jacobs, and I think Travion can also just have these huge games. So I want some of that. Calvin Ridley, easy click, right? Could have gone Waddle there. Some people are really in on Jalen Waddle. I know Mike Leone is. I know others have talked up Jalen Waddle. I was slight fading the Dolphins for a lot of the summer. I'll mix in more Waddle, but I don't know if I can do it over Ridley, who I think is the guaranteed like wide receiver 1 primary target in his entire offense, an improved offense with better offensive line play, better quarterback play. With Waddle, you're just hoping that Tua is healthy and comes back, and that's the different situation. Or that he can like return to form from like his rookie sophomore year kind of stretch, and have a new career high, which he probably could. You think he's like 25, 26? I think Waddle's 26 years old. Ridley's 30. And there's a lot of differences there. Titans aren't supposed to be a great team. I think they might surprise with Cam Ward, but we'll see. We'll find out. Nice. So you're saying it's tough to fill the pointer? I'm interested in the pointers. If I have time and it's not filled, I might get some pointers in. Yeah, what's up, Jesse? Jesse Winchester. Him and how's your night going? Curious on what wide receivers I would target in the 3rd and 4th rounds. Hell yeah, Jesse. Yeah, I'm doing great. Better than ever. Thanks for being here, my man. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night too. Let's look at the board right now. So in the 3rd round, I want T-Mac. I want Teteroya McMillan. I love Mike Evans. Worthy's good, fine. I love Devontae Adams. Those are some of my favorite round 3 picks. I'm a slight fade on JSN, a slight fade on Marvin Harrison Jr., slight fade on Tyreek Hill. JMO's fine. Terry McLaurin is fine in the 4th. Pickens, really high on Pickens. I like him. Slight fade on Garrett Wilson, but I mean, at this price, he's pretty nice. Devonta Smith is good. My primary targets in the 3rd round are going to be Devontae Adams and Teteroy McMillan, Mike Evans. My primary targets in the 4th round is going to be like Worthy, Jamison Williams, Pickens, And I guess Garrett Wilson, if he's now going in the 4th round, that seems fine. Garrett Wilson's very talented, very good, commands a lot of targets. Yeah, we'll see. Who did Nelson Aguilar play for in college? I don't remember. It's been a long time. The whole Nelson Aguilar saga. It's been a while. When that he was drafted in 2013. It's gonna take forever to load. I don't know what's going on with these pages loading on Player Profiler. Maybe it's high traffic or just my internet with all the stream going on and the draft. I'm about to pick again, so I need this thing to load. 2015, USC. Yeah, USC is not that good of a program. Not that great of a program. A lot of misses coming out of USC. It's not like Texas, where you have some of the best wide receivers, some of the best defensive players, best running backs consistently in different eras too. But USC's fine. Not to me, in my mind, not a great program. They had their heyday. They've had some good years. Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, but it's every once in a while you get good players out of there. Addison, also a product of Pitt. Pittman comes to mind. I don't even need a running back. I'm going to take Addison again. Speaking of USC, Juwan Jennings, Jacoby Myers. I do need to get some wide receivers before it gets much later. I only have 2. So I'm going to Swift is there though, but it's not that good of a fall for Swift. I actually prefer Pacheco a little bit. I'm going to mix in some Judy, which I don't do very often, but I'm going to mix in Judy. Feels like a time to do it. I haven't read the article yet, but there was a recent leg up article that I think Michael Dubner put out today, and I haven't read it yet, but through the grapevine, I'm hearing some good things about Judy. And then I was confident Juwan Jennings might fall. People are worried about the calf, and it's not amazing. Otherwise, I'm fine with Myers too. I'm probably just going to avoid Swift on this one, but it does seem like a nice spot to take him. He goes anyways, so that makes it easy for me. The team also gets Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow. It's the second straight draft I've been in where somebody was able to get Burrow at 72 double stacked. So interesting. I'm going to go Jennings over Myers. I don't think I have a reason to tie break towards Myers. All of a sudden, the receiver room doesn't look too bad if Jennings is healthy. Let's go back to Aguilar. What was his college production? I mean, just curious if that's your comp. One big year at USC, a true breakout, age 20. I mean, he had some nice production there. His 2013 is pretty good. 2014, real good, obviously. Played a lot of special teams, so he's getting it all done. What happened with Aguilar? Was it just the injuries piling up? He never really hit. Ankle sprain early. It was just injuries piling up early, but never really hit. He was fine. He had like that 1 year with 8 touchdowns. Was that his rookie year? No, that was his 2017, the 8 touchdown year. That's an interesting comp. We have to check in to see, but it's very interesting. Yeah, I'm not trying to get that funky yet. I have a ton of McBride. I have enough McBride, especially with like my Chase teams, my Jamar Chase teams. So I don't want to get too far behind. I did obviously got Jacobs, but then Lad McConkey fell to me, so it made too much sense. That not a bad take, Dirty. Not a bad take there. Jeff T is like so critical of Sean Payton. It's hilarious. Yeah, takes longer to fill, but it still is filling. Okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah, USC. That's right. That's right. Yeah, USC, University of Spoiled Children. What's up, Arturo? How we doing, brother? You think Worthy at the third round's a reach? I do not. I'm cool with Worthy in the third round. I think he's a smash in the fourth round. It just depends on what other players have gone. I typically would do a coin flip to take like Devontae Adams or Worthy or Mike Evans. I like Tedroy McMillan probably more than all of those guys if I'm going for pure upside. Evans is also kind of a smash spot with the team set up, you know, Godwin being out, Otten's already injured again. Now McMillan's injured, Jalen McMillan. Yeah, Huhame's very sharp, very in on Worthy as well. I think Worthy's fun. Yeah, no, Golden was great at Houston. And then that's the thing about Texas now. They just can take any players they want. So that's one thing too about like Ohio State players, historically Alabama players, although they're on like the quick, Alabama's going down fast. Texas is like they can recruit any player they want from any team at any time. Texas had a defensive tackle transferred from Ohio State to Texas, who he won a natty with Ohio State last year. Now he's on Texas. Like they can get any player they want at any time, any program, any high school. So when you see them get a guy like, I want Kelsey here. I think I want Bill and Higgins if he comes back around. Take Bill first. I don't need the I don't have any like quarterbacks here. I'm gonna go Kelsey or Andrews or Higgins. I'm pretty deep at wide receiver. Kelsey goes. I'll take Higgins. Mayfield, Murray, Purdy. It would be Purdy, but I'm gonna push. I'm gonna get Higgins. I usually don't go this far into a draft 9 rounds without a QB or a tight end, but I like the way I've built this team so far. It gives me set up with Herbert, Ward. If Purdy comes back around, but he never does, Stroud even, Drake May, Jordan Love, Jared Goff. I have so many combinations of QBs that I'm gonna have access to in the next 2 picks. And this could be like a late 3 tight end build easily, which I haven't done that in a while, but I was doing it early in the summer a lot. Yeah, Pittman, that's who it was. I was trying to think of the other one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, very nice there. And London, that's another one. And they had Slovis. So they've had different eras too where they have really good players, but the consistency for USC is just not there. The quarterbacks have not been there in a while. But that's a good shout. That was a pretty sick wide receiver room. Nice. That's a very good grab there, Arturo. Seems like for Worthy to fall to the 6th round, people must have been taking quarterbacks way too early. So when people take quarterbacks too early, you pivot and you get late quarterbacks. Even with the Rice suspension, it's just who do you think they're going to throw the ball to? But that's fair. I was slightly fading Worthy at the beginning of the summer, and I was taking more Rice. But then now we have the suspension news. I'm backing on Worthy. Exactly. That's the logic, right, Hartman? Evan should be moving up too. It's kind of hard to move up much more, but he really should. It's an expensive range to move up if you're going to move up. I'm taking Evans over Tyreek Hill. Okay, Sam Darnold, he was good. He was good at USC. Very true. I love this all coming out though. I love the USC shouts. I've got a bunch of family members who went to USC. My mom went to UCLA, so that's the whole like University of Spoiled Children thing. But I have a great uncle went to USC. My mom's cousin, two of my mom's first cousins went to USC. So we were the my mom's house divided is like her and her brother went to UCLA, and then there's like the Stanford side. My aunt went to Stanford. Her father was a professor at Stanford, and then so we've got Stanford, we've got UCLA, we've got USC, we've got some Arizona State. Some of my cousins went to Arizona State, so we got it all. But there's a lot of rivalry. It's fun. The Trojans should be doing better. They're underwhelming. The last time Texas played them, I got the picture right here in the Coliseum. I was there in LA last time Texas played them, and they did beat Texas in overtime. But this was many years ago. I'm pretty sure that was the Sam Ellinger days. I'm going to go golf first. Is there anyone I have to have? No, but Ayuk's getting pretty cheap. And I can't take Stevenson. I've got Travion. It'd be kind of weird. Tesla already. Ayuk would be there. He's kind of a nice shout, but I'm going to go Herbert. Perfect. Fell right into my trap. I get the stacks with Goff, with Gibbs, Herbert with Ladd. My first two draft picks, I have them stacked up. I'm expecting Gibbs to catch like 80 passes. So I think that's a good stacking partner. Let me see the pictures right here. One sec. This is me in the year, whatever it is. You can look it up. It must have been 20. This is 2018 when Texas played in LA at the Coliseum and Texas lost in overtime. Me and the wifey. I have more pictures inside the stadium at the game, but that's a good one. That was right outside. We did a tailgate before the game went in. USC, they're underwhelming me. If I thought really hard, I could think more about which players were in that game and what year exactly it was. I think it was 2017. I'm almost certain. Fall 2017 in LA at the Coliseum. Pretty fun. AD Mitchell, he was 3 inches away from catching a touchdown against Washington in New Orleans on New Year's Day and sending the Longhorns to the college football national championship against the Huskies. Quinn Ewers, it was tough. A tough throw, but fourth down, overthrew him by 3 inches. Would have been a touchdown. Longhorns could have won that game. Michael Penix Jr. is the truth. Adonai Mitchell, I was a little bit disappointed in his first year. I'm still drafting him a bunch. I think he's super talented. I think he gets his mentals right, gets his head right. He is a talented player. So I've got 22% Adonai Mitchell in Best Ball Mania. It's gone up a lot because he's practically free. I had like 10% of him, maybe close to 8%. And then all of the coach speak I've been reading, all of the good news out of camp, the rave reviews from the coaches and the teammates on Adonai Mitchell. I keep drafting more and more, but it's kind of funny to draft the fourth wide receiver on one of the lower passing volume offenses, the Colts. But the Colts are technically a good team. They almost made the playoffs last year. Their over-under win total is like 8.2 or something crazy. Honestly, not that low. It's better than a lot of teams that we think are good. So maybe it pays off. The year 2 leap. Hopeful that it could work out for him. He was a star at Georgia, and then he played for Texas for a year. It was pretty good. Caught a lot of touchdowns. The dude can catch a jump ball in the red zone, in the end zone for sure. Kincaid, I don't get a lot of Pitts, but I could do Pitts and then backstack with Penix would be kind of interesting. I'm gonna take Tesla with my second pick. So let me tee that one up. I don't need the running back. Kincaid goes. Do I take Pitts? It feels like a complete trap, but I really don't need any other position here. I'm gonna bring up Cam Ward. I think that's much smarter. I do it over Penix because I just don't have the stack. Same thing with Tua, right? I don't have any way to get to Tua or Penix. And I honestly, I think Cam Ward can score in a similar way to Tua and Penix in any given week, but I think Penix probably has the highest ceiling. So maybe I could have taken Pitts and gone Penix. I'm not crazy about Pitts. I'm gonna go Tesla here. I'm gonna have so much Tesla. I'm gonna have like 15, 16%. I was using before they cut Tim Patrick, and before like Tesla had caught a touchdown in every single preseason game, or just had a good I don't know if it was every game, but he's had good preseason games week over week. Early on, I thought Goff was just undervalued, and so I was drafting a good amount of Goff. He's one of my most drafted players, one of my most drafted QBs. And the only way to backstack Goff was Tesla. So I was naturally getting to Tesla in round 17 and 18 for a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks before the rapid ascent of Tesla's ADP. And I'm still buying. I chase players up the board, especially young ones, unproven ones, guys with high ceilings. So in this room, maybe you can push him to 167. Maybe you can push him to 170. Why? What's the difference? It's a $1 auction bid. We're at the point in the draft capital curve. If you've read the manifesto, you know. Shout out to ETR. After you get to pick 106, you're at 25% of the value of the first round pick. When you get to pick 146, you're at 10% of the value. 146 on, it's a $1 auction bid. I just took Tesla at 146. There's zero difference between 146 and 167. So get your guy season. Make sure you get him. And when he's stacked up with Goff on this team, when I needed another receiver, perfect match. Slightly regretful I don't have any Vikings on this one, but I think I know a way I can fix that. Hopefully he comes back around. Trey Harris would be nice for another stack with Herbert. And then Ao Manor is going to be a fun way if I can get him late. Or Chig. Okonkwo. I have Ao Manor ranked too low. I have him really low right now. I need to pull him up a little bit, but he'll be there late. My running back room. So this is a 3-4-6-0 build. I'm going to do a late 2 or 3 tight end. Considering I want one more running back, I could hyperfragile this. I might just hyperfragile this. I might do it. I think I'm going to hyperfragile with those 4. Do a 3-4 7 3-4-8-2 or 3-4-7-3. No, that doesn't add up. I might not have to hyperfragile it. I might just be able to get like 3-4-8-3. Yeah, that's what it would be. I don't know if I can get to 8 wide receivers though, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I just keep taking wide receivers. I probably end up just taking another running back because there's still some ones I like that are pretty cheap. Shipley, Dowdle, Keaton Mitchell, right? In this range, Najee Harris actually makes a lot of sense for a team stack with LA. It seems gross, but this is as late as he goes. And so he might be a pick for me with my next pick. I would go Thielen and Harris, Chigakonkwo first. Okay, Thielen's there. I got to do it. I've built out this game stack so much. And I draft Thielen's going to be one of my most drafted players. He's on the Vikings now. Trey Harris goes. That's fine. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Chigakonkwo. I'm going to push Najee. Obviously, I could just build with these four. I don't need Najee on this team. But I thought about it because 171, 170, that's like the latest you'd probably get Najee. Maybe he's fallen further. I've got a big team bet on the Chargers. I don't want it to be true, but if Najee's ready week 1, he probably pays off anywhere around pick 130. Similar to Ramondre. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry or fuck the sun. We got you. Shout out to the Huskies. It could be. I think it just comes down to, can Worthy have a week where he is a top 6 wide receiver? And can that be week 17, week 15 or 16? Yes. And then do you think those running backs are worth more? So like, would you rather have Hubbard or Pollard or Pacheco or Harvey? Maybe you could definitely argue that. I think it's easier to make up. It's tough because in some ways it's easier to make up RB2 and RB3 value later in the draft than it is high-end wide receiver value, because even if some wide receiver like an Olamide Zaccheaus can spike in week 17 and be one of the top scoring wide receivers, the consistency's not there, and the ability to know like which player that's going to be is also harder. So like with taking Worthy, you're just betting that he's going to be more consistent more often and still have that super high ceiling that is somewhat more predictable. So I would, if you're taking Worthy, you're going to want to stack him with Mahomes more often than not too. So you're probably fading Mahomes a little bit, especially if you're definitely out on Rice. Or are you just like taking Mahomes and Kelsey and you're saying, okay, it's not Worthy, it's not Rice, it's Kelsey. And this is the cheapest we've ever gotten Kelsey in ADP ever, so it's worth it. Ayo Manor goes 179. I've got Calvin Ridley and Okonkwo, so I'm feeling pretty good with what I got. My team through 15 rounds. I got 3 picks left. Probably need 1 or 2 more tight ends, 1 more running back, maybe a receiver. 3, 4, 7, 1. Jared Goff, Herbert, Cam Ward. I got Gibbs and Tesla. I've got Josh Jacobs, Trayvon Henderson, Bill, Lad McConkey stacked, Ridley stacked, Judy Jennings, Higgins for the bring back, Jaden Higgins, Tesla, like I said, Adam Thielen to bring back there, Chig, Okonkwo. Oh, easy money on Spears. If Spears is there at 191, incredible. I was drafting Spears at 120 earlier in the summer. Obviously, he's injured right now. He's on IR, designated for return. He goes. Would have been fun. I mean, don't draft injured players, step 1. So probably save myself there in some ways. Just don't draft injured players. It's that easy, bro. At the same time, the big team stack could have been fun. I don't think there's any running backs I have to have. And could this be a KLS team or a null team? Maybe, but let me get Jonnu first. And then Jonnu Chigakonkwo, is that enough for me? Or do I want the 3rd tight end? I probably want the 5th running back before that. So, but it's kind of flat here. It's a Jalen Knoll team. I could have gone KLS. I'm going to go Knoll. 3-4-8-2 build. I either stop with these 2 tight ends because tight ends don't matter, or I take a third if there's anyone there I possibly would like at all. I'm definitely done at wide receiver. I've got my 2 Texans rookies. That's kind of fun. And I probably could take another running back. I'm trying to think who it would be. Take a shot on a Quorum or a Hunter. Doesn't hurt. Tosh Brooks, Trevor Etienne. These are all good picks. Kendre I just took. He also is kind of a bring back for me, so that may be interesting. Kareem Hunt gets a lot of correlation and was actually still good last season when he got the rock. Do I have any other Chiefs on this team? I don't think I do. We talked about Xavier Worthy a lot. Got the Chiefs in my head. Is Dameon Pierce the guy? Season long, I don't know. Because if and when Mixon comes back, it's just Pierce does nothing at that point. Juwan Johnson, Dalton Schultz, are these guys worth drafting? We'll find out. I'm tempted to go one more running back just for a little bit more depth, just a little bit more league winning upside. Tight end's not going to win you a league, but you could lose because you didn't have the floor of a third tight end. So it's possible. Is he still the cheetah or nah? I don't know. Tin Man, Hurts, CMC, Kamara, Neighbors, Nico, Ingram, Pollard. I like that, Dan. Hurts with CMC and Kamara is fun. Neighbors and Nico is sick. I mean, you have 3 first-round picks with CMC, Neighbors, and Nico. So you're doing very well with that. I think chat's going to like it. What did he do with his 11th round pick? Oh, he took Javonte. God, Jeff T, you're always one step ahead. And you're always 10 minutes ahead in the chat, if you know what I'm saying. I'm going to take Corum or Hunter. This could be a Kareem Hunt team. I'll do Corum. Or do I do Juwan Johnson for the bring back? Tight ends don't matter. Juwan Johnson was on winning BBMs. I'm going Blake Corum. Blake Corum has more league winning upside and more value to me. Even if he's a 0, he's my 0. I think it's just worth something. The tight ends, I'm not getting to 3 tight ends on 3 QB builds that often anymore. I was doing a lot of 3-5-7-3 builds. I honestly still like the 8th wide receiver just fine. It would just say don't take Noel, grab that other tight end earlier. Could also be fine. Might also be right. So, but I'm not shying away from 2 tight end builds right now. Herzig will tell you to take 3. Leone will tell you to take 4. I'll tell you to take 2. Tight ends score the least points. And if you don't have an elite one, you're just trying to get lucky. Let's look at week 17 from last season. Oh, we got to figure out how to get Fantasy Pros into dark mode. Somebody help me. Week 15 to 17, you would have liked to have had Laporta, but he wasn't on the winning roster. You would have liked McBride, Conklin, Kittle, who was on the winning roster. So you could have the tight end 4 in the last 3 weeks, and that'd be good enough. Okonkwo's up here. Johnny Smith's up here. Those are the 2 guys I just took. So, I mean, I just took number 6 and 7 in the weeks that matter. Johnny's on a different team. Definitely not going to hit 88 receptions again. Did you guys know Johnny Smith had more receptions last year than Brian Thomas Jr.? Yet Johnny Smith goes in the last round of drafts, essentially, one of the last 3 rounds. Week 17, you wanted McBride, but it was Ertz because he was so much cheaper. You actually wanted Kelsey hit, but he was too expensive. Conklin could have got you there. Laporta, just not enough. I mean, McBride and Ertz separated to win. I think Ertz hit the lineup. Whoops. Was it Ertz or was it? It was just Kittle. Kittle with 15 hit the lineup. So tight ends don't actually matter because in week 17, you can win with Kittle, the sixth best tight end. And McBride wouldn't have got you there. I mean, Ertz could have got you there, but no one had it. Versus you had to have T. Higgins. You had to have Devonta Smith. You had to have Thielen. Pearsall was nice. Did he have Mims too? He didn't have Marvin Mims. He didn't have Marvin Mims. Brian Thomas didn't even hit the lineup in week 17 with 20 points. So you had to get the wide receivers correct. You don't have to get tight end right. You do have to get quarterback right. You have to get quarterback right. You have to get wide receiver right. Those are the most important positions. You're going to want to get running back right. So everything matters except for tight end. JT. But then, miss on Pacheco in week 17. You hit with, honestly, Chase Brown. So you don't even need two running backs to hit. If you can flex the right wide receiver, the right one, you don't even need two running backs to hit because Pacheco missed and then Chase Brown was top 14, but not that incredible. Didn't separate in any way. I mean, you could have had Chase Brown with 11 points. You could have had Chris Rodriguez with 9.3 points. Pretty replaceable. Jacobs had a bad week that week. Amir Abdullah undrafted, but like 16 points. Just no one drafted him. This is a fun team, and I'll say it now because, well, no one's in this draft with me, but going forward, I'll do team reviews and saucing your team for any amount in a super chat. And I don't know what the minimum is. I assume it's 99 cents or $1. That would work perfectly fine in the future. But no pressure, no need to do it. Just appreciate you guys being here, chilling with me, hitting that like button, having a fun time, jumping in the chat, saying what's up. That's what it's all about. Let me catch up, and then, more drafts. Yes, Cam Scattaboo, Texas versus Arizona State. Cam Scattaboo threw for a touchdown. He ran one in. I don't know if he caught one. I think he did. But hell of a game, hell of a player. Nice that Mooney didn't go to IR. I agree. I've got big packed Mooney bags in Best Ball Mania in all these tournaments. I want to start clicking Mooney more because I think he could be back by like week 2. Yeah, that's the fade. I mean, besides this year and last, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, receiver but pass catcher, JT Sanders, and then running back university, Bajan Robinson. 2 Heisman winning running backs in our history. Matthew Golden, soon to be DeAndre Moore and Ryan Wingo, names to know. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to tell me twice. When I went to school, it was the losingest stretch in Longhorn football in decades. I saw Mac Brown get asked to leave graciously. I saw not Colt McCoy as our quarterback, but I saw his brother Case McCoy as our quarterback. I went through the David Ash year. I went through a lot. Jamal Charles, ever heard of him? That's going back too far. And you're talking about wide receivers. I've never been in a self-driving taxi, one of the Waymos around Austin, but people I know do them. You know what's more dangerous than a Waymo? Bird scooter, Lime scooter. Pro tip. And I have the apps because I've done them in the past. I've driven Lime scooters all around Seattle, all around Tacoma. Do not ride those. I've talked to more emergency physicians that have told me not, and orthopedic surgeons, one of my buddies actually in my home league, they say do not go on those scooters. You don't have a helmet, you don't have wrist guards, you're gonna get hurt. The fact that those things are street legal without like helmets and protection, driving around cars, insane. So I've done it before. I'll never do it again. I'll never ride one of those scooters again in any city. If I'm in a park where there's no cars and you're renting a scooter, that's different. But if there's cars, and it's not even the car, most people don't even get hit by the car. Most people do get hit by the cars. Most people get just injured falling off of them. Incredible, Jeff T. Because of Tesla. I know. It got me on Tesla early. That's 10 seconds. I'm ready for the season, brother. I'm going to be locked in watching the game this Saturday at 12 Eastern. I'm going to be on vacation, though. I'm going on a golf trip to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but I will be locked in for the game. Yes, sir, Gerardo. What's up, brother? That was 136. So I've got 13 left, I think. I'll take Tesla anywhere after pick 140. What's the difference between Tesla and Demario Douglas? We were buying Trey Harris at pick 110, 120. Obviously, he's fallen because they signed Keenan Allen. But like, what was the big difference in the thesis there? You know, Thornton 151. Give me Tesla. Douglas, Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams has been going anywhere from pick 120 to 150 all summer. What's the difference between him and Tesla? Tesla was drafted one pick after Kyle Williams in the NFL draft. So I've come around. I'll take Tesla, 13th round, easy. Lightweight, baby. But yeah, I've seen other people's drafts even today where Tesla, they got him at like pick 165, 170, but it's all a $1 auction bid in this range anyways. So I don't think of Worthy being just a spike week guy in this new season. I think he is going to be their consistent volume guy. Yeah, I could draft some modern guy. I think he's injured right now. He's injured, and the Bears are pretty dug in on using Swift, and I don't know who else. I don't know. I'm not drafting Eli Mitchell. Oh, was it so when Fareed drafted his team, it was on August 28th. Yeah, the 3663. We've got it right here. This is Fareed's team. He did a 0 running back. And then his first running back was Madison in the 6th round, complete whiff, but he hit on round 18 Kyron. So this formula can only work with a round 18 Kyron, and there's not going to be a round 18 Kyron every year. So it's pretty rare. But Laporta smash, getting the rookie tight end who was the tight end one, that helps too. You had to have Amon-Ra and CeeDee Lamb. My team, they got 7th in the Poodle that year. Started with Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb. I also had Cooper. I didn't have Christian Watson. I didn't have Pickens. I had Pacheco, Travis Etienne, and Njoku. Who was the other running back? I'd have to look. I had 3 running backs hit the lineup. One was Pacheco, one was Etienne. They all put up 20-plus point weeks. Well, we could look into it right here. I mean, I could figure it out pretty quick. 2023, week 17, running back. I had Etienne. I had Pacheco. So Pacheco 26. Etienne had 25. Who else in my lineup? It was Joe Mixon. I had Joe Mixon with 16 points. Pretty certain. Let me let my dog out real quick. Be right back. I'm going to roll the clip in the meantime for T-Mac. The dog just made me open the door and let her out, and then she did a U-turn, came right back in. No idea what that's about. Typical dog. I'm hopeful. Who Hames, and I do want to draft more Mooney around pick 100 because I think it's a pretty cheap price, especially if he's healthy. But the shoulder can be scary. Incredible Sharpman. I know. He did have Jawan Johnson too. And I've been drafting a pretty good amount of Jawan Johnson. Yo, what's up, Corey Crowder? Major Applewhite. Yeah, that's a throwback name. Yeah, Major Applewhite. What a throwback. He was the coach when I was there. He was not the head coach, but he was an offensive coordinator, and I think he was co-offensive coordinator my freshman year of college, if I remember him. And then the defensive coordinator was I know it was Manny Diaz. He didn't last too long, unfortunately, but I liked him. He was a cool guy. Met him. Yeah, Major Applewhite, former quarterback turned coach. Yeah, talking wide receivers. Yeah, who the fuck is Case McCoy? Exactly. Don't look him up. Exactly. Yo, what's up, TX Politics? Maybe. I guess if you just anchor it down to Amon-Ra, you could throw in Addison and then Pittman. That's who they have going up against Worthy and Golden. But at the same time, USC doesn't have a running back in sight. Bijan Robinson, clearly one of the top running backs in the league. So, but they did have a good string of wide receivers. Give them that. What's up, Disbanded? They go fast. You can run up a $100 bill in 30 minutes. Oh, the scooters. That's crazy. The most I ever paid for a scooter was probably like $6, but I was just kind of, zipping around Seattle at Tacoma, more specifically. Texas is going to wreck shop. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I made my prediction earlier. I think I said it's going to be like 23-13. Defensive battle, week one, you know, maybe a big play here or there for Texas. Definitely not for Ohio State. Texas allowed the lowest amount of big plays of any team in the FBS last season, and it's going to continue. Best defense in the country. Oh my gosh. Yo, what's up, Billy Jones? What's up, brother? How we doing? Happy Wednesday. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Billy, how have your drafts been going, brother? Yeah, Kriya, I'm starting to think he might be a Sooner. I've seen so Mooney in this one. Mooney went at pick 85. So I've been seeing Mooney going in the top 100 very consistently, but I'd love to get him after pick 100. Billy Goat. Yo, what's up, Rabona? Wait, did you? What's up, Paulina? How we doing? What did Hartman do? I don't know what you did after LMAO, but it doesn't show up. But it looks like it could be an icon or something. How am I prepping for the dailies? I have no idea. I'm not as big on the dailies, but I want to do more. So listen to Pat. Look at matchups. Try to team stack. Try to scroll down. I don't know. I'll be interested to do some BRs for the dailies. I don't know if I'll do the week one though. I might just flip over and wait for week two. We'll see how week one looks. If I'm done drafting by then and everything's good, I might just ride Best Ball Summer into week one. Oh, for sure. This team can win it all. Every time I draft a team, I want it to be a team that can win it all. This one can win. The thesis here is Gibbs is RB1. Josh Jacobs is top 10 RB. Henderson's top 10 RB. In week 17 specifically. Lad McConkey is wide receiver 1. Ridley's top 5. One of Judy, Higgins, Tesla is a top 15 guy. Tight ends don't matter. Goff or Herbert is QB1 on the week. So this one can win it all, no doubt. This is very structurally built, very sound. A lot of good bringbacks, a lot of good team stacks. I have teams better than this for sure, though. We did last night, Rabona, and I name all my teams, especially the ones with like guests, and I put dates on them and kind of some notes on them. I don't have one fresh in my mind. It's like, oh, my favorite team. This is going to win it all. This is the best team I've ever built. But I've had that feeling a bunch after drafting some. And then last night on the Ballsy show with Bindles, we reviewed every team that I've ever drafted or we've ever drafted together with guests on Ballsy. So it was like 10, 12 teams, whatever that is. And we picked 3 of them that are like very good contenders. And then there's probably about another 3 that were like pretty solid. And then there was about another half that have a ton of dead roster spots, injured players like Isaac Garendo, Spears, which doesn't mean they're dead for the whole season, but at least for the early season. But I guess still week 17, we'll see. Garendo kind of with the competition from Brian Robinson Jr. is like a new wrinkle in that thesis of drafting him at pick 120, which I think we did with BBG. BBG was the first official guest on Ballsy, and I think that team had Spears and Garendo, and both of them were expensive back then too. It was back in May or June. Paulino's in the house. Yeah, I know. Scataboo is a big play waiting to happen. Speaking of, I'm not going to roll the whole clip because I want to get one more draft in, but Jeremiah Smith's going to cook. We'll see. I think he's definitely very good. I'm trying to think of his stat line he put up against Texas in the last game. I'll pull it up. I can't remember how well he did against Texas last year. I had to pull it up. I mean, I was there in person. He definitely was good, but he didn't do anything in that game. It was the game before against Oregon he went off. Yeah, who Hames? I mean, I know Jeremiah Smith is good against Texas last year. And obviously, like, Jahdae Barron's now in the NFL. Michael Taft's still there, though. Safety. Jeremiah Smith had 1 catch for 3 yards against Texas defense in the Cotton Bowl. I would have thought he had more than that, but it was a Carnell Tate game. It was a Travion Henderson game. It was a defensive battle. Yeah, Drake London. Forgot about Drake London. USC has no current running backs in the NFL that I can think of. You could say Woody Marks, but doesn't do much for me. And then running back history, of course, but now, I mean, doesn't compare to Texas in my mind. Not even close. Probably not one specific favorite, but I mean, just there's a bunch of good teams, but I haven't been like printing them out and framing them or anything. I don't know. Is JCM cheap on DraftKings? Probably, right? It's so funny. I feel like my best teams are like now more than ever. I feel like a lot of my teams I did early in the summer have so many bad picks like Garindo or things like that that have just turned sour. But there's good and bad. I have some Dobbins teams, some Keenan Allen teams, those were free. What week of his career was that game? Week 15. So his 15th game. The week before, he put up 187 and 2 touchdowns on Oregon. Marshawn Lloyd, does he play in the NFL? I've never seen it. I mean, you know the answer to that, but also Jeremiah Smith is going to be special. Ohio State does pump out wide receivers. I mean, I'd have to look it up. How many Heisman winners at USC at running back? There's a few. Reggie Bush doesn't count. He should count. Doesn't count. But does kind of count. OJ, right? They got Marcus Allen. You got, a bunch of guys back in the day, kind of like Texas does too. OJ, Charlie White, Marcus Allen, Reggie Bush, and then a way old time Mike Garrett. So that's right. They got a bunch. They got a bunch. That's what's funny is like my great uncle who went there, like he would give me all, like he would know. He's kind of like that's like his era. It's the 60s and 70s. It's just been a while. Yeah, so it's more of a recent thing, but USC's got the history. They've fallen off after they stopped paying players. Now it's legal to play it's now legal to pay players, and they still can't keep up. Which what does that say about them? They were only good at it when they were the only one doing it. Mhm. For the dogs. They didn't they so what they did is they took the Heisman from Reggie Bush, they offered it to Vince Young, and Vince Young said no. He said, "Nope, not mine." And then now I guess they've, kind of officially given it back to Reggie Bush, right? Bama, RBU, yeah, Bama also very strong candidate, and even in recent history. I think Bama's going downhill fast. Now that Saban's gone, I don't know, man. We'll see if they can compete in the new SEC. They lost to Vandy last year. Reggie Bush counts. I think Reggie Bush counts. Yeah, they've fallen off. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run one more. I think so. Juju's pretty good for a while. Juju was like the wide receiver one in Dynasty for a hot minute. USC has nothing good at the moment, but they do have some good wide receivers in the league right now. Drake London, Amon Ra. People forget. Yeah, because it would have been Leinart too, Matt Leinart. I think so too. It's crazy how coach driven winning is in college football. It is a large part due to the coaching versus the NFL, which I guess you could argue coaching also matters, but I just don't think it matters as much in the NFL because they're professionals, they're grown ass men, and they don't have that much development left, if any. But in college, it's like you're taking kids and trying to make them perform at a high level, and young men, but essentially kids. So I feel like the coaching has a more personal um like level to it for the college coaching, and so that might be why it's more effective and why it's more consistent when you have guys who can recruit and then coach like a Saban, Sarkeesian, like Pete Carroll back in the day, Coach Day, guys who are really consistent at winning and recruiting good players, good programs, all that kind of stuff. I have hopped into a best ball mania draft, and it's already started. We'll get back to some other tournaments, and I'll give you all a heads up, and you guys can join too. But I only have like 12 best ball manias left. Let me check. I think this is my 13th last one. So I don't want to just sit here and get sniped every pick. I want to be able to queue players and talk about players and like my strategy. I think it's more fun too. than me being guarded. Yeah, I have 12 left after this. So essentially I get to draft every player in the first round one more time after this draft. I'm in the 7th spot here. It's the 3rd draft of the night. Make sure y'all hit the like on the stream. Appreciate y'all for being here. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night. We just went deep into some college talk, but I love it. It's week 1 of college football. It's here. It's an exciting time of year. We're drafting teams. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they don't take away OJ's Heisman after the fact, but you can murder people. Yeah, Pete Carroll is a legend. And the fact that he's still coaching is crazy. A Saquon Barkley team, come on down. I'll take a Saquon Barkley team. I'm underexposed, and I probably don't have that many combinations with players because of it. So let's get different. Urban Meyer, another good example. Super, a really strong coach in college, and then not as strong in the NFL because players didn't respect him. Yo, later, who aims? Allegedly murdered people. He only allegedly wrote a book about how I would do it. I didn't do it, but if I did, this is how I would do it. And made a rap song about allegedly doing it, which is crazy. You can Google it. It's been a couple years since I listened to it, but there's literally OJ Simpson raps that are public where he's talking about how, like, the murder. Insane. The dude was crazy. When he came on Twitter after he got out of jail for all that, like, memorabilia stuff, his first video on Twitter, it's like, hey, Twitter world. Crazy. But also, wasn't OJ in The Naked Gun too? He had like a whole movie career. Different times. Okay, Saquon with, I don't have him with Bowers. And I don't have him with AJ Brown, but for good reason. I don't think I want him with AJ Brown. That's a little bit much. And if not Bowers, if not Bowers, I think I'm cool just going with Chase Brown. I'll do it with Chase Brown. I think my previous Barkley team probably has it with Chase Brown in probably, I'd guess, the 3rd round. Because it's from the end of, maybe not. Maybe not. No, still the 2nd round, just a bit later. And then Marvin Harrison. So this is my existing Saquon, Chase Brown, Best Ball Mania team. It's Kyler Murray, Nix, and Young, so I don't want to do that again. Marvin Harrison, Pickens. Seems like a fine team. Drafted it almost a month ago. I mean, that was from the 2 spot. That was when I was like forcing in Saquon Barkley picks. And I kind of do like taking him at different places on the board just to get different combos. If you're only drafting Barkley in the 7 spot, in the 6 spot, or the 8 spot, you kind of get pigeonholed a little bit into certain picks. unless you're constantly reaching. But even then, like, you can't access players the 2-3 turn. Although I did technically just take Chase Brown, and Marvin Harrison Jr. will almost certainly be available or close to available with my next pick. So it's not that different at the end of the day. Oh my gosh. We're going down the OJ Simpson rabbit hole. Incredible. Yeah, later, who Hames. Yeah, 2-3 turn can be tricky, right, Krios? Like, it's a tough spot to be in. Is this going to be the third straight best ball mania draft of the night where the drafter in the one spot goes Chase and Higgins and then gets Burrow at 72? It's happened twice out of the last two drafts. Whoa, Hurts going early here. I'm about to be on the clock. I don't have Saquon with Josh Allen. That seems like it'd be a pretty good combo. Same though, like I don't have him with Mike Evans, and I kind of want to go Mike Evans. I am going to go Mike Evans here. I still think he can be a guy you might want, you might need in week 17 and season long, but let me take Mike Evans there. Josh Allen would have been a good pick too. Kind of a falling value on Josh Allen's with Hurts going earlier with the AJ Brown drafter. Pretty cheap, pretty good value on elite QBs in the third and the fourth round. I've got some. I still think later QBs can have a lot of value. This could easily be a Baker Mayfield team. I don't have a ton of those. And he's expensive. I mean, he'd still go around pick 90. But the opportunity cost. I don't know. Allen at pick 31, I think, is a click most of the time. I probably should have done it there. If I, for some reason, had like Barkley in London, I probably would have gone Allen. But just the fact that I felt like I needed to get a receiver that I really liked there, and then leave myself the option of getting another good receiver in round 4, or like if Kittle falls. Let me turn on some tunes and I'm going to close the YouTube poll, so make sure everybody's voted. We got 42 watching, only 31 likes. I would appreciate y'all if you could smash the like button and vote in the poll. I'm going to close the poll in I'm going to close the YouTube poll in like 10, 15 seconds. Do you like RJ Harvey? Is he a target or is he a fade? I think most of us think he's a target. Some people are more in on Dobbins at cost. Worthy here or Pickens. I'm cool with either one. I've got Pickens on some Saquon teams. I don't have any Worthy. The previous Saquon team I had Pickens on it. It also had Chase Brown. So let me get a little different. And then grabbing Worthy gives me access to also targeting Mahomes at pick 90. So if I don't get Baker at 90, if I don't get Mahomes at 90, one or the other could be nice. If Burrow's there at 66, here's what I'm saying though. I might take Burrow at 66 to go with Chase Brown. The Chase Brown thesis, for him to pay off, he has to catch a ton of balls. And he caught 54 last year while only he did have a nice snap share, a really nice opportunity share, honestly. But it was really it was super heavily back weighted. Chase Brown having games with 9 receptions You know, he had 5+ receptions 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That's pretty insane. Insanely good. So Chase Brown, you should think of stacking him with Burrow. I'm not going to do it at 55 because I think I can push it, but I'll take it at 66. And then I don't need Mahomes or Baker at 90, but I still could do it. It would still be kind of sick too. I know. I know. Garrett Wilson, I had a slight fade on him, but I was taking him and then stacking him with Justin Fields early on. I've kind of slowed on that. Sometimes you can get Breece Hall in the 5th round. I just saw it in the last draft. It was kind of wild. I passed on him. It was just not the spot for me. But Egbuka pick 52. Garrett Wilson in the 4th here. I've seen Garrett Wilson go pretty late. Calvin Ridley is a smash here. RJ Harvey's also nice. Waddle's pretty fun. Devo's pretty fun. It's hard for me not to go Calvin Ridley. I think Cam Ward's good. But I did take Calvin Ridley in the last draft. I'm going to go Waddle this time. And I'm going to get different because I've had a slight fade on the Dolphins. Let me take Waddle. He pairs up nicely with Evans. And let me just trust some other people that they're going to steer me in the right direction. So I'm going to pivot and go Waddle this time. Look how many wide receivers go in the 5th round. Since JMO went at the 411, we've had 9 straight receivers, including JMO. It's 10. Pretty wild. Yeah, what's up, Green Bean? How we doing, brother? Need more Genty, says J-Lup. Yeah, I'm a slight fade on Genty too. I think I have across all tournaments, I have a little bit more, but in Best Ball Mania, I'm at 6% Genty, so only 8 of those teams, and I might get one more. I was tempted. I tried to draft Genty recently, and he went the pick before me. I was trying to pair him up with Nico Collins. All right, I'm going to close the poll. Make sure you voted for Harvey or not. 33 votes, pretty good. 33 votes, 31 likes. How is that even possible? Make sure you hit like on the stream. Do me a favor. Appreciate y'all for being here. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night and getting your last drafts in of the summer. It's here. We're peaking. It's Best Ball Mania. It's crunch time. The season's starting soon. Week 1 of college football. All of that good stuff. My pick, I'll go Deebo Samuel if he's there. Or do I take... Oh, Burrow went. I got Burrow sniped. Burrow went unstacked. See? I couldn't even get Burrow at 66. I would have considered it. I probably would have done it. Dunze's a nice pick there. Harvey's a nice pick there. Golden, Pacheco. I'm going to go Deebo. Considering James Conner, I'm going to go Deebo. I want good players on good offenses. I want players who can score touchdowns. So Deebo Samuel gives me access to the Commanders. We've seen Deebo, I think, slightly rising recently, right? Deebo's risen 4 spots in the last 30 days. He's essentially flat all summer. So nothing crazy. But people are a little bit more optimistic. At least I am also more optimistic on Deebo in the current status of things, even with McLaurin signing his deal. Nice. I think so. It's partially that, Hartman, because last year they just had no one, right? They had Zach Moss injured. They had no one. Now they have Samaje Perine, who could fill in a little bit. I still think Chase Brown is the primary pass catcher. They've got Taj Brooks, who can fill in a little bit. So I wonder if Chase Brown you know, can sustain the game logs he was having where he has like 80+% snap share, 90+% snap share, I think that might be not the most likely outcome, but we've seen him do it. So and the coach speak around Chase Brown has been glowing. It couldn't be better. So there's some good things going in his favor. That'll be me if I could have stopped the Burrow, but someone stopped me from getting Burrow. Can't believe it. Yeah, I think Garrett Wilson needs to find a new team to get utilized the right way. Wow, I've seen Tyler Warren go ahead of Sam Laporta in 2 Best Ball Manias, and this is one of them. Damn, Mahomes goes unstacked. Way ahead of ADP. I'm going to take some Laporta here. I feel like I'm in a good spot with double anchor RB. And then I've got 4 receivers I like. It's kind of a flat receiver tier here. So let me go ahead and just take the tight end Laporta, who could be essentially, I don't know if he ever beats out Brock Bowers again, but could get pretty close. I don't know if he ever puts up the same number of volume that McBride gets, but he could have more touchdowns. That's a pretty fun thought. I think it's a bit far for me in this format, but it's fun to think about. True. He definitely could. We know he has the pass catching upside. I don't want to be like a big fade on Genty. I just think it's tough. We're pricing him as if the only outcome is he is the running back 1, essentially in week 17 and most of the season. And it could be that, but it has to. That's the only outcome at his price. And he has to beat out. I mean, you can get him in the beginning of the 2nd round, but he has to beat out like all of the other 2nd round picks and essentially beat out some of these receivers too, which is possible. It's still possible. I think it's tough. Okay, what do I do here? Because Jordan Mason at 90, Baker Mayfield. I could push Baker Mayfield, try to go with a Tua stack or Goff. God, why they got to do it to me? Supposed to make it easy by taking Mason so I don't have to. I'm gonna take Jordan Mason. I wanna push QB. Baker Mayfield's gonna go. The way quarterbacks have been going in this room, the way tight ends have been going in this room. Loveland goes 91. The Egbuka drafter here, he's gonna take Baker Mayfield at 93. If not, he'll do it pick 100. So I say goodbye to Baker Mayfield. Maybe he likes Knicks better and he goes with Knicks at 93 and then Dak at 100. If he's smart, he probably should stack Dak and Knicks with Sutton and Lamb over Egbuka with Mayfield, but he's going to look at ADP and he's going to take Mayfield now. He goes Knicks. There's still hope. But will he pass on Baker Mayfield to Egbuka to get Dak with CeeDee Lamb? I think he should. Maybe he's a smart drafter. Maybe he's kind of going to do what I expect, and then I can get Baker Mayfield at 103. So I kind of price Baker Mayfield as being a better pick in like the 9th, 10th round than the 8th round. So I have a slight fade on Baker Mayfield. It's hard for me to get there on him. What's the difference between Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff? A little bit of rushing upside, and how consistent is that year over year? I think Baker does have better legs than Goff, but it's not like we should count on him. And Mayfield goes completely unstacked to the drafter in the 1 spot, who is pissed because they didn't get Joe Burrow. Hate to see it. I could do Goff at 114. I'm tempted to go Prescott at pick 100. I do think he's good. And a lot of my QB options are gone too. I could backstack with Ferg, with Blue. I do have an out with Tua though. I probably should lean into that now that Baker Mayfield's gone. So through my first 8 picks, I have a 0-3-4-1 build with Barkley, Brown, Mason. I'm good at running back for a while. I've got Mike Evans, Xavier Worthy, Waddle, Debo, Laporta. I'm really tempted. Okay, Kelsey. I was going to say I'm tempted to go Kelsey there, but Kelsey goes. I could do Mooney. I've been saying I wanted to do Mooney at pick 100. I used to have so much Mooney, but I pivoted off him to more like Luther Burden. Tempted to go Dak. Evan Ingram's fine. I don't need Evan Ingram though. I made my bet with Laporta. Surprisingly, only 2%, only 2 teams with Evan Ingram in Best Ball Mania for me. It's just hard for me to get there. And I'd rather go Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren slightly later. Now they're more expensive than Evan Ingram, so I might get some more Evan Ingram with these last few drafts, but I'm throwing a Mooney. Really nice wide receiver 5. Let's hope he's healthy. I can carry him on this team for a while though. Gives me one more out with Michael Penix Jr. too, who goes in kind of the Tua range if I miss out on Tua. I could have gone Godwin there. I don't know. I haven't seen enough positive signal from Godwin, but probably should have thought about Godwin there, considering I already have a big bet on the Bucks with Mike Evans. Yes, sir. Oh, we're at 515. Sick. Yes, sir, Billy. We hit 500 a couple nights ago. Neil Orfield came on and really helped get us across the finish line. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to Neil Orfield. And then, so that was before, or no, it was right after Best Ball Jeopardy, I guess. It was right after Best Ball Jeopardy Monday night. And then last night we had the Ballsy show with Bindles and had a lot of fun there. I gave away $25 to a random sub. Paulino got it. So he gets a free Best Ball Mania entry for being a loyal sub, for commenting on my videos. And yeah, super appreciate all you guys for being sub to the channel, for being here. Apparently you're saying we're at 515. That's sick. When I started the stream, we were at 506, 7. So we've added a couple new subs. Love to see it. If you're watching this, if you're new to the channel, consider subbing. It's completely free and it would help me out and on my goal to grow the channel, draft some sick best ball teams, and pretty much all fantasy football teams, all different formats. We've done... Okay, what do I do here? I don't have a Monraw, so it's not like I'm destined to take Jared Goff, but I don't let Dak Prescott go. Like I said, I'll figure out how to backstack him. I've got Debo for a bring back naturally. I do not let Dak Prescott go. I don't care that he's not stacked. I don't have any better picks to go here. I'm not going to take Goff over Prescott when my Laporta is my best connection. Maybe Goff comes back around. Probably not. The St. Brown drafter skipped on him because he has Burrow, but should have taken him. The JMO drafter is going to be over here. He already has 2 QBs, though, because he took Mayfield that I wanted. Will he take the 3rd QB with Goff? It's not uncommon. The Gibbs drafter could also take Goff. He's got Lamar Jackson. I think there's like a 10% chance Goff comes back around to me. Maybe 20%. But I'm cool with Dak. I'll play Dak here on out. Torrey Horton, pick 117. Bet you've never seen that. I bet you've never seen that one before. Yes, sir. We've been drafting since April. I put my kids down to bed, and so I always stream about 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central, also known as 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern kind of start times. It's gotten later and later throughout the summer as my 3-year-old stays up later and later. But yeah, I've done hundreds of stream drafts on this channel with some of the homies like Who Hames, Hartman, and a bunch of other guys who've been in here tonight. We've been ripping drafts. Okay, Jared Goff could be there. Let's say Jared Goff goes the next pick. I probably just take Ramondre Stevenson. All right, he's there. It's a golf team. And then I can get one of Tua or Penix later if I really want to. With my next pick, I should prioritize Ferguson or Blue. And I like Blue better because tight ends don't matter and running backs do matter. And I already have Laporta. And then at 151, I'm going Tesla. If he's there. Horton went 117 in this one. I don't know if that was a star method fail or what. Definitely could have gotten Tesla at 148 and a pretty good chance of getting him at 165, but not certain anymore. He's been rising a ton. Neighbors Genty's fun. Yeah, that's real nice. Yo, what's up, Jason? The world famous Huron River Rat. What's up, brother? Am I maxing the pointer? I don't think I'll max the pointer. I haven't done any pointers yet. I've got 12 Best Ball Mania 6 drafts to go after this one, and I'm definitely maxing that. So that's where my focus is until I max. And then whatever tournaments are still open after I've maxed BBM, I might hit a few more. Yo, what's up, Jamie? How we doing, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. What are we below the field on? Are starting to worry me. I'd have to think about that. Probably it could be like Saquon or Derrick Henry or I'm slightly below on Brock Bowers, I think. Slightly below on Genty. Just kind of the first round guys. I don't think I'm too worried. Like there's certain teams I've faded a little bit. Oh, yo, Jamie. Appreciate you, big dog. What's your exposure on Tillman in 13-14 round? Yeah, for Cedric Tillman, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have a ton of Browns. For me, Tillman's at 6% in Best Ball Mania. Cedric Tillman. I'm not out. I liked his profile when he was a rookie coming out of Tennessee. Big, fast. Played with Hendon Hooker. Played with Jalen Hyatt. Right, so decent. Oh, Blue goes 137. Incredible. But yeah, Jamie, appreciate the super chat. Always appreciated. Never required. The homie. I think I just go Ferguson here at this rate. I was between him and Sampson. I guess I technically could have taken Pitts, but that's a bit weirder because then it's more of a Falcons bet. I already have Mooney. If Ferguson wasn't there and Blue wasn't there, I might consider Pitts and then go Penix at 151. I'm going to push my next QB, whether it's Tua or Penix. I'll see if I can get them late. I'm going to try to get Tesla with this next pick. Let's make it happen. Through my first 12 picks, a 2-3-5-2 build, I've got Dak Prescott after ADP, Jared Goff after ADP, both of them stacked with my 2 tight ends. That's kind of fun. Ferguson and Laporta. I got Saquon Barkley at pick 7, Chase Brown, Jordan Mason at pick 90, Mike Evans, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel, Darnell Mooney. Dude, this team is... I've been loving these late August teams that I'm drafting. I've been loving them. Shout out again to Hartman, to Jamie for the super chats. Oh, and Reflect the Sun. I was scrolling back through. Reflect the Sun also with the super. My guys. Appreciate y'all. Yo, what's up, Crossface? How we doing, brother? Needs to be at 1,000 plus. That'd be sick. That'll be the goal for the. So like you know how I was saying I wanted to get to 500 subs before the start of the NFL season, and we freaking did it, which is awesome. Wow, Ollie Gordon at 145. He would have been a target for me on this team, but I do want to get Tesla here. What I was going to say is the goal for next football season is I want to have 1,000 subs on the channel before the start of the 2026 NFL season. I think it's a lofty goal, but it's attainable. I hit 100 subs in April, and then I set the goal to hit 500 before September. So I guess May, June, July, August, 4 months for me to get 400 subs. So we can do that again next summer with maybe a little bit more momentum as well. And then there's this thing that like there's some critical mass to it because the YouTube algorithm has been favoring me a little bit more at my current point than it had in the past. So that's always cool. Bring some new people in here. And then I've been putting out more YouTube shorts. I don't know if you guys watch those. I don't know if randoms are watching the YouTube shorts, but they're essentially I'm shorting from my previous live streams, and those have been doing surprisingly well on views and converting some new subs. So that's pretty cool to see. If you're here and you're new and you're a sub from the shorts and you're hanging out in the live stream, that's sick. Definitely let me know in the chat. I don't really expect anyone. I think the OGs, most of us who have been here in the streams, it's kind of like its own separate thing. The shorts is like more views that are more people just swiping, I think. I don't think they're actually like chilling with us that much. But also, I mean, obviously we've added a bunch of subs this summer, a bunch of new names, faces, and people who have been hanging out in the live chat, which is pretty sick, drafting teams with us. Who Hames is a legend. I'm going to be streaming with Who Hames on Monday after I get back from my vacation. I think Monday night. I'm going to try to swing it if I'm not too jet lagged, if I don't have too much going on. Looking forward to that. Okay, Penix and Tua are both there. Which one do I want more? I think Tua gets the priority with the Mike Evans bring back, with the Waddle stack. I think Penix is still worth grabbing if I can't get Tua. Otherwise, in this range, it's like Algier's a nice pick. Rashad White, I think, is fine. Thielen's pretty fun. Coker's pretty fun. Tua does go. So then do I want to take Penix here? I think I do. Because I like Michael Penix and I want to stack him with Mooney. He plays in the Monday Night Football game at home in Atlanta against the Rams week 17. It's the last game of week 17, the final game in the final playoff slate. You might just want to have the quarterback in that game in case you need 30 points to win Best Ball Mania, and somehow Penix gets it done. Plus, throw in the Mooney piece doesn't hurt. I can get a late Ray McLeod, who I don't mind at all. I could also throw in a Blake Corum, a Jarquez Hunter, Jordan Whittington. Some people draft Tyler Higbee. I haven't been doing it, but I'll probably stop with 2 tight ends the way I've spent my capital in this one. Drinking a lot of Mountain Dew Baja Blast, so I've been enjoying the late night stream here in Boston. Thanks, Kenny. Hey, nice. Chilling in Boston. That's good. I've visited Boston before. It's been a while. The last time I went to the Cape. I was in the Cape last summer for a wedding. Really fun. We stayed on Cape Cod. That was sick. What was the name of the town? I'll have to think of it. Damn, I can't think of it, but it has like a little quirky small town name, but flew in through Boston to get there. But then the last time I was in Boston, hanging out around Boston, it was 2019. So it's been a little while. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the secret's out. Surprisingly, so Colorado State played Texas 1 year ago this week in opening weekend in week 1, and Torrey Horton did nothing in that game against Texas. It was a little surprising. Wow, I think I go Thielen here for my 6th wide receiver. I mean, the price on Algier, though, is actually really nice. I'm going to go Algier. I'd want to take Thielen, especially with the Minnesota bring back. I already have Mason. If I didn't have Mason, I would have taken Thielen there every time. But I have Mason, so I'm somewhat covered with my Minnesota bring back, and I have a really strong receiver room. And I probably want to take another running back before it gets too late. And the value on Algier there is insanely good, especially because I have Barkley. I'm fading Bajan, and then I'm fading Gibbs through my all other Detroit pieces. And then so Algier makes sense. Maybe I'm lucky and Thielen's there with my next pick. Some people are still sleeping on him. Not excited about Thielen. I'm pretty excited about him. I think in this range, I will take Najee Harris. And I'll consider Tajay Spears. But I'm a little bit more scared because he's actually on the IR. I might just put Shipley ahead of Spears. Yeah, Spears goes. Do I put Shipley ahead of Najee Harris? That's kind of the question. If it comes down to it, Dowdle. So, 3-4, 6-2 build. I'm done at tight end. I'm done at QB. I'm gonna go like a 3-6-7-2 or 3-5-8-3 or 3-5-8-2. Yeah, Thielen goes. No surprise there. Amari Cooper goes. Gross. Ray would be there late. Malik Washington late. Like I said, Whittington, super late pick. No Turpin for me. Well, I could do... No. I don't have CD, but Dak's more of like a floor play in this case. I'm really playing it through Goff and Penix. Not really. I didn't really stack my top options, which is kind of funny. I did more of like my lower option stacks. So definitely different. I will take a Najee Harris here. At pick 186, I think that's fine for Najee Harris. All summer, the Baja Blast, incredible. Yes, sir. Yeah, I was chilling in Nice and Blunt's channel a little bit last night. Did he really? That's crazy. I didn't know that fact about him. And he stopped in here a few times too. Yeah, I need to definitely connect with him more. He seems like a really cool guy. A nice, sharp drafter. A nice and blunt drafter, you could say. And I saw he was live earlier tonight too. He was doing, I think, it looked like a redraft league with maybe some of the viewers. That was pretty cool. Samson exposure, it's not high enough. I'm over the moon on Ford. I don't know if that's the right expression, but let me show you my Cleveland exposures for the Cleveland Browns. Why is it so hard to say? Jerry Jeudy 3, Njoku 8. Yeah, that's fine. Samson 5. Wish it was a little bit higher. Judkins 9. Wish it was a little bit lower. I had like 15% Judkins before all the legal trouble. That's why I'm lower on the other guys. Tillman 6. Ford 19%. Fannin, I've drafted him once. So I'm playing it through Ford. I wish I had some more Samson, but I'm going to stop with these 5 running backs. It's these 5 running backs. I don't need Dowdle on this team. I have 2 picks left. And, I mean, actually, I kind of like keep Mitchell, Blake Corum. Mitchell goes. Blake Corum makes a lot of sense on this one. So does Jarquez Hunter. Receiver-wise, I think I will take McLeod. double stack Penix. And then it's also kind of just one more option to hit with one of my stacked QBs. I'd rather go McLeod over like Turpin. $52, $31, $420, and 2, 16 attempts. McLeod, I think, has more of everything. 87, 62, 686, 1, 10 attempts. So slightly less rushing attempts, but still had some. McLeod's looking good. Preseason, he's getting some hype. I've been reading some of the Falcons blogs stuff, and McLeod they're excited. So that's my 8th receiver. No, 7th. Duh. I'm Whittington, Corum, or Hunter. Who do I want more? My heart says Hunter. My brain says Corum. Whittington would be random. Hartman, if you're there, speak to me through the ether. Are we still drafting Jarquez Hunter, or are we pivoted completely to Corum? What do you guys think? Would you take Hunter or Corum? I want the bring back for the Falcons, and it's kind of just a fun throw in running back. I don't have to take a running back though. If I didn't, I would go Adonai Mitchell, or no, Jonnu Smith is there. I think Jonnu Smith is also too good to pass up. I might throw in Jonnu Smith if he's available with my last pick. He's just too good to pass up on. Jonnu Smith should not go undrafted. Later, Jamie. Appreciate it, my man. Would go Hunter, says Paulino. I'm going to go Jonnu if he's there. If not, I'm going to go Hunter. Yeah, to me, I just can't pass up on Jonnu here. He's free. And Laporta and Ferguson are great, and tight end also doesn't matter, and they're both stacked. Jonnu gives me some correlation. Any other room, I would take Jarquez Hunter. I think I have to go Jonnu Smith because Barkley, Brown, Mason, Algier, and Harris, I'm kind of covered at running back. I'll go Jonnu. Back to a 3-5-7-3 build. Didn't think I would do it. Like I was saying earlier, let's look at the season stats at tight end last year. Yikes, my eyes, bright mode. Week 17. I mean, Johnny Munt being there is pretty hilarious, but it's so touchdown dependent. Oh, this is 2023. No wonder. I was like, what is Johnny Munt doing there? Johnny Munt was not there. Let's do weeks 15 to 17. Johnny Smith, number 5. Let's do 1 to 17. Just the season. The season that matters. Johnny Smith, number 4. Laporta, number 7. And then actually it was Ferguson who had the bad year. He's way, way down. Number 28. No touchdowns and some injuries. I mean, my wide receivers are pretty deep, so I expect in any given playoff week, I'm going to have 4 wide receivers hitting my lineup. That means I only need 2 running backs. In between Barkley, Brown, and Mason, like 2 of them better hit. So it's almost impossible for Jarquez to fit in there. Is kind of my only logic on why I didn't take him over a tight end who shouldn't matter. But at the end of the day, you know, one more shot at a floor play to get me 10, 15 points could be helpful on this specific team. Rattler gets drafted. Dart gets drafted. Arroyo is the last pick in this one. Darren Waller. Yeah, I need more Samson. 2,500, Billy. We can dream big. It's possible. We'll see. I'll have to put some more work in. Maybe get a nicer camera. Maybe get some headphones. Maybe get some better lighting. Maybe get some better video. I think, you know, videos do big numbers. So I'd have to put out some more videos instead of just being only live stream. But I'm coming around to that idea. It just takes a lot of effort to make videos. The shorts are easy though, but they convert fine. But I think big videos also do numbers. But I've made some friends with some pretty big video guys over this summer, which was super fun, like through the Ballsy show. Danny from Fantasy Stock Exchange, they put out a ton of good videos. Ron Stewart, of course, puts out good videos. And then they also live stream too. So like it's more of like a full-time thing if you're doing the video aspect of it, because of all of the editing and the scripting that takes place versus, you know, me just going live late at night. But these are fun ideas. We're gonna need a bigger garage. Yeah. Well, you know, the goal is we ship Best Ball Mania 6, whether it's the 2 million to me or we split it with some of our guests we've had. You can lease a Lamborghini. Well, I looked this up. Which make, which model? So it's Lamborghini. Which model were we gonna? I think I was looking up the Murcielago. Maybe it was the whichever one. I looked it up before the start of the season. I think I did this 2 years ago. You can essentially lease a white Lamborghini, a Spider, convertible Lamborghini for about, I think it's like 100,000 a year. So if we ship Best Ball Mania and actually win it, we'll see. We'll see it. The wife has some say, but we might be leasing a white Lamborghini, and then that'll be part of the lore. Part of the. We'll be doing live drafts from inside the Lamborghini, if that happens. Hands down, that'd be fun. Maybe if we win for like 50K, we lease the Lamborghini for a week. That would be like 5 or 10K, but might be worth it. Well, Dirty, that just tells me that you've got some really sick teams, because like Ollie Gordon's been the biggest riser lately, besides Bill, and so is Horton, Tesla. So these are great things. Chase them up, keep drafting them. Yeah, me too, Jason. It's bittersweet. Yeah, Jamie doing some volumes to check out Jamie's videos for sure. Yeah, video does numbers, right? Yeah, Eli Mitchell, that's the one no one's gonna chase you on. Nice. Yeah, Jamie, I've seen some of your stuff, but I'll need to get more familiar with it. RPO football show, IDP and offense. Very cool. Oh, Crossface is on the Cape. Yarmouth. Okay, West Yarmouth. The town that I stayed in was something myth, but I can't think of it. And people put it on like sweatshirts and t-shirts. I'll look it up because I can find it super quick. Chatham. It wasn't myth. It was Chatham. Crossface. Last summer, I stayed in, and I think they call it Chatham, but I was out there in Chatham for a wedding. Super fun. Really nice. Obviously. Super nice. It's my first time on the Cape. I liked it. I've drafted on obviously sleeper for like Dynasty, and redraft. I underdog for all my best ball, except for I do fast draft as well. So I've been doing some fast drafts this summer, and I want to do a few more before the next week. But I haven't done drafters. I haven't done and FFPC. Me and Hartman did our first FFPC draft this summer. But I haven't done any drafters or DraftKings. I'm just not even on those sites. Like I don't have sports betting in Texas, and I don't do a lot of DFS, so I'm not on DraftKings. And then drafters, I just haven't gotten there yet. I thought about signing up for drafters this month, but didn't make it. Just a ton of underdog. There you go, swimming with the sharks. Love it. That's sick. The weather was so nice last summer when we were there. We were sleeping with the windows open, kind of time. Saquon and Saquon Shipley. Yeah, honestly, I didn't even connect those dots. Very good point, Paulino, because I draft so little Saquon that I am just used to drafting Shipley as like, and I wasn't even totally in on Shipley until like the middle of the summer. I had to come around. I had to see it a little bit in the preseason too to really get excited. I was much more on Shipley last year, and then last year he didn't do much. So then, but yeah, I probably should not have taken Shipley with Barkley. I almost didn't even think about it. Pretty funny. Later, Jamie. Appreciate you, man. Thanks again for the super chat. We'll definitely be checking out Jamie's videos as well. Hell yeah, I might. I don't know if I have time, but next week, like Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe we could do one. I've thought about it. PPR Tyler's got his. BBG's got one. You said Nice and Blunt just did one. Maybe we could fill out like a 10-teamer. That could be fun. I don't know what the stakes would be. I don't know if we would do... We'd probably do something cheap, like a $10 buy-in, just to keep it not free so that it's not like completely, people don't care, but we could have some fun with it. I've thought about it. Oh my gosh, yeah, I bet. The upside with Hunter, yeah. But yeah, so I'm caught up now. Urus, the way to go with kids. Okay. Urus. Falmouth. Yeah, Chatham. That's what it was. Chatham. Is my funny Chatham story? I'm at the Captain's House Inn. It's an old Captain's house on the Cape, turned into a bed and breakfast. And my wife and I were there. My mom's watching our kid at the time. So we're there. We're going to the Friday night rehearsal dinner. We decide to Uber there because it's like 5 miles away. And I guess I had a rental car, but we wanted to drink. So like obviously drink, eat. We didn't want to drive. I pull up the Uber app, and we're sitting there for like an hour before we leave getting ready. And I'm like, wait a second. There are no Ubers in Chatham. There's no Ubers in around Cape Cod. I don't know if this is like an always thing or if they're just hard to come by. Eventually, we get an Uber. The guy pulls up, and I live in Houston. I live in a city where I live in the city. Like I'm in the loop, is what we call it here. Like I'm close to the city. So there's people who are professional Uber drivers in Houston. Like that's like their career, because they drive people to the airport. They drive whatever, you know how it is in big cities. But I take Ubers occasionally, either for work or going to the airport or different things in different cities. And so I guess at that point last year, I had taken a lot of Ubers lately. And so I kind of get into this rhythm where like you get in the car and you go, hey, how you doing? How's your night going? How long you been driving tonight? Have you, what's going on? You start small talking to the Uber driver just to be friendly. The guy who's our Uber driver, he's like, this is the first ride. You guys are lucky. And we're like, what? And he goes, yeah, I haven't done Uber driving in like 8 months. I used to do it a little bit, but I haven't been driving Uber. I got a notification to my phone, and I usually wouldn't do it, but then I saw there were no other Uber drivers around, so I thought I'd be nice and help y'all out and like give you a ride. And I was like, oh shit, this is just some dude who lives in Cape Cod, and like, you know, he's not Uber driving every night. Like, he's never Uber driving, but he had done it at one point and he wanted to help us out. So he drives us there. It's, you know, it's a 5-6 minute drive. It's short, you know, 10-minute drive at the most. So it's a cheap ride, but I tip him. Essentially, I tip him like, you know, the same amount the ride costs on Uber, just to be nice, because he was helping us out. And then when we got out of the car, he's like, all right, what time does your event end? And we were like, you know, probably like 2.5 hours. He goes, okay, I'll see y'all then. And then sure enough, we put on the Uber app. He picked us up. He was the only Uber driver in Chatham. And then when he picked us up, he was like, how was it? It was so funny. It was just this dude. It was some person's dad. I think he told us he had like a daughter who was like in college or something. It was hilarious. Yeah. The haunted captain's house, apparently haunted. But that's my Uber story from Chatham. It was fun. I mean, really beautiful, you know, lush green summertime out there. Very cool. Yo, it's Juju. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the super chat, my man. Always appreciated, never required, but thanks for doing that. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night. And oh, we have a trade question. Let's dive in. And in chat also, let me know in the chat your opinion on this trade, what you would do. So it's redraft. Should I trade Knicks and Tedroy McMillan for Lamar and Travis Hunter? Yes. Normally, I would not say trade Tedroy McMillan because he's one of my favorite players for 2025. But it's Lamar Jackson. He could be QB1. Bo Nix can't be QB1. He can. Bo Nix can be good. Bo Nix can be starting worthy. But if you have any other details that you want to share about your league, 10 team, 12 team, whatever, helps make the decision a little bit easier. I will say, the smaller the league is, the more I want the elite onesies. So if it's a 10 team, I really want a Lamar Jackson, a George Kittle, maybe a McBride or Bowers. Yeah, Paulino says smash, except. That's what I'm thinking, because the drop-off from T-Mac to Hunter is not that far, but the difference from Lamar to Nix, while it seems like it's not that far, to me it really is. Lamar is just far and above in his own tier with like Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels kind of, and maybe Hurts is right close, but Lamar could just be QB1. And I've been ranking Lamar Jackson as my QB1 all offseason. I love T-Mac, and I like Hunter too, but I want Lamar. Who should I ask for? Tony Pollard or Travis Hunter? Oh, it's 14 team full PPR. Okay, so let's think about that. 14 teams, full PPR. Depending on how deep the starting roster is and how deep the benches are, matters a little bit. That increases the value of T-Mac here being full PPR just a little bit and being 14 team. But I think Travis Hunter is an equal replacement to T-Mac. Although T-Mac is going to see more volume, we expect. Travis Hunter can do it with efficiency. And Travis Hunter is good at scoring touchdowns, so we expect to see those. In 14 team, you might be able to get away with Knicks, but I still want Lamar. I'm still on the Lamar side, I think. That's how I'm leaning. And then you're saying, should I ask for Tony Pollard or Travis Hunter? It's 14 team full PPR, right? So then I would want Travis Hunter. I get the appeal of Tony Pollard, but I think if you're trying to win it all, if you want league winning upside, follow kind of the money, kind of follow Travis Hunter, the ADP. He's been in the 5th round of these best ball drafts, these best ball mania drafts all summer long. He was a 4th round pick at one point. We've seen Pollard rising. Pollard goes 69 here. I've seen Pollard going at the 5-6 turn sometimes. I think it could come down to, oh, wow, very interesting format. So it's a 1-1-2-1-2. I think that makes me want Hunter even more than Pollard. If you only have to start one running back, you probably have someone who's better than Pollard already. So you're going to be flexing Pollard. And if you're flexing Pollard, you're probably starting Hunter as your wide receiver 2, if not also flexing him. Will that, with that info, do you say I should do the trade Lamar and Hunter? I'm leaning yes. My gut says yes. I want Lamar and Hunter. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I want Lamar and Hunter. Lamar, based on everything I believe is the best quarterback this year. Josh Allen is a tied tier. Even Jaden Daniels pretty close. Bo Nix, he had a really good rookie year. He did put up a ton of fantasy points. He has a great offensive line, a great coach, a really good team, a playoff-bound team. It's nothing like Lamar Jackson, though. And then the difference from T-Mac to Hunter, I think, is close enough where I'm not too worried. But I do think that T-Mac is going to be in a good spot. Hunter's also in a good spot. The new Liam Cohen offense with the Jaguars and Brian Thomas being there is not a huge negative. It's actually a positive. It's a good offense. They're going to generate more scoring drives, extend drives longer, more scoring opportunities. So I like the 1-2 punch with Brian Thomas and Hunter. I don't think it takes away from Hunter that he's with another good receiver. With T-Mac, he's like going to be the focal point of the offense. He's going to be the engine of their offense. You think of other teams that have a wide receiver 1 who is their main guy. It's like the Bengals, the Texans, the Giants, the Vikings, and look at where those wide receivers end up when they start to, peak in their early careers. They go in the first round. T-Mac could be a first round pick next year. He could be a second round pick next year. I think Hunter also has a lot of upside to be a second or third round pick next year. But all of that to say of like why I love T-Mac, but I still think you could do the trade. But scared money don't make no money, right? It's like people have been afraid, oh, what's going to happen when Travis Hunter has to tackle Jonathan Taylor? At the same time, Travis Hunter did this all throughout college. He's different. He's one of one. He's not going to make that many tackles. The average corner is making like 2 tackles per game, maybe 4 tackles per game. The highest would be like, averaging like 4 or 5 tackles per game, I'm pretty sure. You look at like Derek Stingley, he only makes like 2 or 3 tackles in a lot of games. Maybe he's averaging like 4 tackles a game. So it's not that much. I'm not worried about it. I want full upside. I want exciting young players. T-Mac and Hunter are both that, but if you can get Lamar Jackson, I would go for gold. I would go for the upside. Go for Jackson. Go for Hunter. The Trey Harris FUD. Oh, just around the Keenan Allen being there now. I think Trey Harris can still be really interesting. I was buying him a lot when he was priced 110, 120. I'll still click him occasionally in the 140, 150. Keenan Allen is going to command some targets. Quentin Johnston's still there. He's not dead. Ladd McConkey's the guy. Amari Hampton's could be the a big guy, a big part of their offense too. Not Hampton. Trey Harris is fun though. I think he can still potentially, pay off his cheap prices. So I like Trey Harris. If there's any new FUD that I'm not unaware of, I'm not sure, but I thought Trey Harris looked pretty good in their last preseason game too, is what I heard. I didn't see, but I was reading about it. So I think so. All right, that will do it for tonight. We did 3.5 hours. We added some new subs. We got some likes. We got some super chats. Thank you so much to all of y'all for watching, for drafting with me. I'll be back, I think, tomorrow night to rip some more best ball manias. And yeah, super fun stream. Really good, some really solid drafts. This last team, I think, was the most different one, but still came together nicely. Got some good values. If you're down, leave a comment after the stream. If you're watching this in the future, you can leave a comment. Let me know, are you fading or are you targeting RJ Harvey in 2025? Appreciate y'all for being here. Catch you in another draft real soon. Peace out.